Welcome in, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3. The Fan, happy Monday. Oh, no. Happy Monday to you. Well.
Went hard on your birthday, sounds like.
I did not.
No.
I did not go hard. I sweated out like 7,000 calories for sure, though. Welcome in. It's good to be back with you guys on a Monday morning. Padres able to salvage a game yesterday, and we'll talk all about it. It was a rough baseball weekend for yours truly and, San Diego Padre fans out there. Certainly, we've already got the Fire Stam and Fire Souza which is a weird, after a 19-run offensive outburst.
Fire the hitting coach.
Fire the hitting coach. Listen.
They only scored 19 yesterday.
It's been 6:02 on the dot, and we've already got a Fire Stam and Fire Souza in the chat this morning. So if that explains how the day is going to go, so be it, man. We're here for you guys. Got a fresh 3-year deal on Friday. I've sleeping much better, not having to worry about that anymore. Thank you guys for all the kind birthday wishes yesterday. That was spectacular. I really appreciate it. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer of the program. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great, buddy. I got Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. Thanks for coming out to the kids' game yesterday, dude. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I was just finishing up my workout, and I wasn't that far away.
Yep.
And I thought, well, let's check out the Goats, the Encinitas Goats, playing a scrimmage against the Frozen Ropes and Coach Kurt.
Yeah, Coach Kurt.
See how you guys were doing.
It was awful.
Didn't go great while I was there.
Did you know, and this is true, I would say, for any level of baseball, and this is 8U, okay, 8 and under. We're about to go to 9U in August. That's when the calendar flips. I don't know if you guys know this, but you're pretty savvy baseball guys, you in the audience as well. When you walk 15 players, 15, your odds of winning that game are slim. Slim to none, I would say, at any level. 8U, 9U, 10U, 11U, 12U, 13U, 14U, high school, 15 walks.
Ask Trey Savage
Ask Trey
against the Padres.
Savage. What do you have, 7 or 8? It's not going to work out in your favor. So we've got to get back to the drawing board. I still love these kids very much. We hit the ball hard, got robbed a couple times. I got to tip my hat to Coach Kurt and his crew. They were patient. They were patient and taking advantage of a wild day on the bump from the Goats.
Now, I did see some bad luck, too. When your team was at bat, the Goats hit some scorchers, including one of the toughest line-out double plays you're going to see with the runner on second. Just up the middle, missile.
Wham!
Shortstop goes to his left, makes a great catch, steps on second. Nothing you can do about that.
Not a damn thing, but they're getting used to the steals and the leads. And, every time there's a guy that gets on base, my pitcher, their pitcher too. I mean, the panic sets in of like, oh God. And then it's hard to throw a strike. Defense doesn't play well because they're falling asleep because you've just walked 6 guys in a row. It's a vicious circle, this game, vicious cycle that happens out there if it's not happening for you. But listen, at the end of the day, it's just more reps for them. A lot of fun, but it was good to see you out there. It was a hot day, and it affected me on my birthday more than I thought it would.
We had a nice, fun birthday celebration for you on the show on Friday morning. You opened some presents, but what happened on the actual birthday, Sunday? Did you get anything else worth talking about?
So we did Saturday. I got my gifts from my wife, and she did, of course, get me some baseball cards. Thank you, Paulie, for steering her in the right direction.
You're very welcome.
I opened a buttload of baseball cards between the 2-packs that you got me from Costco. Our friend Craig got me a box. You got me, and then you gave me 150, which I used to buy cards on Friday. Then Hannah got me. I opened cards all weekend. Didn't really get a lot, but it's fine. I had a good time doing it.
I was curious how the first birthday in the baseball card era would be.
It was good.
Because, I know in a couple of months when it's my birthday, it's like, oh, what do you want?
Yeah.
Just
I want baseball cards.
Nothing but baseball cards.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
It real easy on you guys.
She did really well and gave it to. She also gave me, though, a gift that it was interesting. She got me.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. Not that. Oh, no, yeah. I got that too. A baking sheet.
A baking sheet.
The old reverse misogyny gift.
Is Woods looking to make some chocolate chip cookies or something? A baking sheet.
How can we play that in reverse? I think it might sound the same, but she gave me the reverse misogyny gift.
Make me some cookies, hubby.
So I told you I made chicken and potatoes on a baking sheet, and had started to flake off, and they were metallic. And so I think it was like,
all right, hang on, here we go.
Yeah.
Forward. Backward.
The reverse,
totally
the
different.
Reverse misogyny bell. I love it. That's so good. So I opened it and I go, oh, and she goes, didn't you want this? I go, yes, I did. Oh, we need this. And so I did. I got some very nice baking sheets of various sizes. So that was something great. My kids were sweet. They made me a card. Taylor had to be forced to make me a card at gunpoint last night. Essentially, Bo made me a really nice card, and then, of course, this is how we operate as a family. We're eating dinner. I go, hey, man, Taylor, thanks for that card. It's really sweet. He never made me one. He never got to it because he was playing with his friends all day. I go, hey, I'm going to enjoy that card forever, dude. And he looked at me. He was mad. And he's like, so he sits down and like pounds out a card. He's like, here. It was
it's like a homework assignment.
That's exactly what it was like, dude. It was like forcing him to do homework to make his old man a card. So it was great, man. I felt a lot of love. Oh, my friends, the Coopers, our closest couple friends. Paulie, you're gonna be excited about this. Gave me an air fryer.
Nice.
Everybody's wanting me to cook, I think, now. So I got an air fryer. I've never had one.
Never had an air fryer?
Never had one.
Really?
You know, I've told you my theory before. When air fryers came out, I literally thought it was like a hot oil that you like, even though air is in the name. I was like, I don't want to make mozzarella sticks at my house with hot oil.
Couldn't get me on fryer.
I couldn't get me on fryer. So I thought when people were getting home.
Really? You thought everybody was
frying everything.
Deep fry. I was like, why is everyone eating?
The word air didn't
and so I said,
click with you.
I blocked that out and I went fryer. And I'm like, well, I don't want to eat a bunch of fried food, so I'm not going to get that. So I never saw one. I remember Paulie was like one of the first people I knew that had one. And I was like,
I thought I was late to the game.
See, for me, you were way early. Because, okay, my wife doesn't cook. She doesn't cook. She's not into cooking. She doesn't like to cook.
I definitely remember feeling like, oh, I finally get it. Like with air fryers, I'm like, I knew because everybody else that I knew had one. Yeah,
I just figured, and I don't know. I was like, oh, they're not really gonna heat up oil and you dip the pan of hot wings in it. But I would hear people say, oh, just put it in the air fryer and it's so good and everything's so good in the air fryer. And I'm like, I don't want it fried. I don't want a bunch of fried food. So in my mind, I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that, oh, this actually makes it like healthier in some ways. It tastes better and you can do all kinds of different things in it. So I got one and play with it today.
Much healthier.
See how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, there's it's essentially a mini convection oven.
Mm-hmm.
It just causes the air to circulate around, which makes things crispier.
Could they have come up with a better name for it than fryer? Is there a negative connotation?
Yeah, but I think for a lot of people, it's a positive connotation. I love fried food.
Well, I do too.
And so that's what I want, but I shouldn't eat it. And air makes it healthier than oil. So it's kind of the best of both worlds.
What kind of stuff can I cook in it?
Just about everything.
Yeah, I mean, you
really
can reheat. It's good for reheating.
I heard the reheating is spectacular.
It's way better than a microwave for reheating. Even things like pizza, it tastes like it's fresh as opposed to microwaved and soggy. But
I always kind of like to simplify it. Just view it as like it essentially is half the time of like how you would cook it in the oven.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's an oven, but half the time.
But you can make vegetables. They'll get a little more crunchy when you make them in the air fryer.
Can I make meat in it?
You can make it. It's not necessarily like if you're going for a tender steak, it's probably not the best way to go in the air fryer. But
because I told you guys off the air what I did last week. Remember, it was my first Costco experience in a while, right? And obviously, I know what Costco entails. I've bought TVs there, et cetera, et cetera. I think we bought a couch from there one time. I'm not sure, but like I was intimidated by the groceries, getting the groceries, having the space for it all. Well, I screwed up so bad. Went in and I saw, I got my ground beef, which I love. I got chicken breast, which I love. And then I bought one of those big old trays of probably 6 New York strips. And I got home from Costco with Hannah, and I just stuck everything in the freezer, right? Just stuck it in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized, I probably should have taken those steaks out, separated them into bags, because I've thawed out yesterday. I have to make when I get home today. Do you guys want a New York strip? Because I can bring you one tomorrow on the house.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, I'll just bring you one for
sure.
breakfast because I have 6 now.
Steak and eggs, baby.
I'll bring you. I have 6 that I have to go home and cook.
Right,
today.
because they're all you can't refreeze them after you've defrosted them.
So we're going to be eating meat a lot this week. So I screwed that up. So no in the air fryer with one of those probably.
I'm sure you can do it. You probably would like to read the instruction manual on the proper settings for meat cookage.
I've done like chicken in there, like marinated chicken.
Marinated
breast,
chicken,
just throw them all in there.
I mean, like if you're reheating,
it's like an oven, right?
Reheating frozen wings or something, they get crispy like they're fried, but they're not fried.
But you wouldn't bake a steak.
You don't usually bake a steak. So yeah, you could
steak.
finish it after you seared it and stuff.
Again,
you finish it in the
you
oven.
Probably could. I don't know that you should though.
Okay, Ken says don't buy steaks from Costco. They're blade tenderized.
Yeah,
I don't know
as opposed to
mallet tenderized.
This is why I love the tier 1s.
Just tender on their own.
I love and hate the tier 1s sometimes because they make me feel dumb because I don't know what that is, and I didn't know that was a bad thing. I know that don't eat a certain type of lettuce, right? But then I saw an alert this morning that said that type of lettuce is actually okay now. It was a false flag. So this company got dragged for the last 5, 6, 7 days. Yeah. Hannah sent it to me this morning. There was an update on, and you know how many salads I've turned down in the last 5, 6 days? And I love salad. I do. I know it doesn't show, but I really do. It said, breaking news. FDA says Taylor Farms lettuce was false positive after supplier was linked to Taco Bell outbreak. Source remains unknown. So which we thought it was good because we thought we had it pinpointed. We don't.
So now we don't know where the cyclosporiasis is coming from again.
Correct. And it's and again, I looked at a salad and I go, well, this looks pretty good. And I could wash it. And they said it doesn't matter. And by the way, that diarrhea is going to hit you in about 2 weeks. So it's like avoid vegetables and produce at all cost, I think is the message here.
Yeah. But that's also not healthy forever. At some point, you're going to have to eat vegetables again.
Correct. So that was my weekend. It was great. Had a great time. And it was good to see you yesterday. And thank you guys for the gifts. And thank you for the tier 1s all being so nice.
Thank me. I felt bad. I really bend your birthday.
Oh, you bend it?
I bended it.
Bend.
But I kind of bought myself out of a gift.
Dude, I'll take cash over all. Cash is king. Cash rules everything around me. Cream.
Cash rules everything around.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. I had one of those no joy moments on Saturday.
You don't have to tell me. It's already funny.
I actually had a really good day.
No joy in my life.
You know, my buddy Scott's in town. He wanted to play a new golf course. Booked us for Cross Creek up in Temecula, afternoon tee time on Saturday. And I figured, well, I'll just watch the Padres game on my phone in the cart, plug it in. I've done that before when I play golf. Got up there. It's a long drive. Cool course, though. I really enjoyed it, but there was no cell service whatsoever. And so I could not only not watch the game, I couldn't even get score updates when I was out on the course. Literally could not receive any texts, any internet whatsoever.
I'm waiting for the bad news.
Yeah, that's not the bad news. That was the good news.
That's
I
great
missed a
news.
6-1 game. The first game I have really missed all season. I heard the first inning. They were down 2-0 on a home run. And then when I got done with golf, I checked and they lost 6-1.
Yeah.
Great. That sounds pretty awful after what happened on Friday night. So Scotty had booked the round. He paid for the golf, which was nice. So I treated him, and his wife came up with us as well to play. To dinner, we went to an Italian place up in Temecula because it was like 7:00 when we were finished, and we were hungry. Had a so-so meal. Wasn't great.
No. Here we go.
Which is, that's not the no joy. Everybody has a mediocre dinner from time to time.
You didn't tip them, did you?
No, I paid, tipped, and forgot my credit card.
Dude, are you...
in the folder on the table. And I didn't realize it until the next morning when I opened my wallet and go, oh, no.
You are such a dialed-in, reliable human being, but these things happen to you Way too much.
I know.
You forget. You're forgetful.
And I don't know what happened at the end. I mean, it's habit. You sign, you grab
Grab your card,
stick it in the wallet. And I don't remember if we just didn't have it just wasn't a great meal, and we were just ready to get out of there.
Oh,
And I think I rushed it, and we left.
You were so angry that you left your credit card.
At the subhuman food he had to eat.
And when you have that realization that the credit card is gone, it's such a bad moment.
It's just a death march.
First thing is you're trying to remember, okay, when did I have it last? And I knew I had paid with the credit card last night for dinner, so I had to assume that's where it is. But this is now like 8 a.m, and I go, I'm not going to be able to check for hours. So I try to figure out, okay, go onto the app. Okay, lock it. I can lock it at least.
Okay, lock the
if
card.
Someone has it, I can at least deny any more charges.
You don't want some Yahoo running free with your credit card up in Temecula.
I mean, they may have already been doing so, but over last night. But for now, I can at least lock it. And then I have to figure out, well, how am I going to get it back? So I wait. I call at like 11. I figure when they open, guy answers. I say, I dined there last night. I may have left my credit card.
Did you leave your credit card here?
Mamma mia.
You laugh. That is pretty much exactly the
Hello, how can I help you?
And he goes. And finally, I explained the whole thing. Like, okay, I dined there last night. He goes, I can't. It might be in the register. I can't get in. I'm the chef. I'm the only one here right now.
Oh, so you're the guy responsible for that horse-ass meal that I ate.
While I got you on the line, buddy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to say anything at this point because I just want my card back. He says, well, call back in like 30 minutes. The host and the manager will be there. So I call back in 30 minutes. Yes, I did, in fact, leave my credit card. They have it there.
It's a good feeling to get it.
Now, here's the problem. It's all the way up in Temecula.
Can you mail it to me?
So here's what I did. It was already getting a little like ragged on the back. The stripe wasn't working all the time. I asked and trusted. I said, can you just destroy it for me and I'll order a new one? So is that the right move?
That was the right move, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Because debit's a little different, right? Debit, you're going to have to go, yes, cancel that debit card. Now I have to spend my entire day reapplying
your payment,
because if you even dispute a transaction on your debit card, they send you a new debit card and then all your stuff goes away and it's just a whole big but with a credit card, that's easy. Destroy it, keep tabs on it this week, make sure nothing was charged.
That's what I'm doing.
And then get it. You're not going to get a new number though. You're just going to get a replacement card. I'm so scared to travel internationally with you because I feel like we would get to the airport and you'd be like, I don't have my passport. And it's weird. Out of the three of us, it would be you that happened to. Not me, not Paulie.
Yeah. And I'm not particularly forgetful, though.
You're massively forgetful.
Am I massively forgetful?
Bro, how many times when we played golf and I was like, where did Ben go? And your dad just exasperated. He's like, I forgot his golf cleats at home. I'm like, son of a... He's like, he does this all the time. I'm like, yeah, he does.
If I get out of my normal routines and habits, I can definitely mess myself up.
It's why for you, I think idle time would be very difficult for you. I think it would be very difficult. You are so routine. You're almost militaristic with your routine every day, and that's how you survive. If you had too much time on your hands, I don't know what you would do. I think about it more than I should probably, but as your partner and your friend, I think all the time, what if he just left here? What would he do at 10:15? What would he do, Paulie? Like, is it 8 hours of golf every single day?
You couldn't do that, though.
You would lose your mind.
I mean, even professionals need to take more time off than that.
Retired guys are like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
You don't collect. You don't collect things.
I need a new hobby of some sort.
Yeah, you'd need new hobbies. And I'll go to the gym. It's an hour. It's an hour.
And then I work out already in my current schedule.
But then it's 11:30. So you're like, I don't know what you would do.
I think I would cook more, probably.
Yeah, probably.
You know, if I had more time at home.
You say that.
Say that.
So you actually have to do it. But
use my air fryer a little bit.
Yes, use your air fryer a little bit. So they're going to destroy your card. You get a new card. It's such a nightmare. I do it. I've done it at Sushi Lounge a lot, my beloved. But they know me. They text me. And they go, you left your card again. And I'm like, oh, I'll just run up and get it. And I trust them implicitly. So
and it's 5 minutes.
It's
from
5
your
minutes from my house. I've done it at least 3 times at
It's
Sushi
not
Lounge.
in another Riverside County.
Usually it's because my children have spilled rice and soy sauce all over the place, and I just want to get out of there, and I'm always apologizing to the management. I'm so sorry. It was extra
There
bad
is
tonight.
something about kids at a sushi
That
restaurant.
rice, dude, it flies everywhere.
And the soy sauce, you put it in such
tiny thing?
shallow
Yes.
dishes that one jostle, and it's all over the table.
Taylor eats it like food. He takes his chopstick and just dips it in it and continuously is just licking soy sauce, and it's flying all over the table, and there's rice all over the floor. So when I get my bill, I sign and I walk out, and then I forget my card. So I do that.
Do you ever have the dilemma when they have both the green lid and the red lid, the low sodium and the
Healthier.
regular sodium?
You can't taste the difference.
Is it really healthier? I have no idea. Or are they
Well,
just putting the same soy sauce
The
in
question
both
I
of
was
them?
going to say is, the question I was going to ask is, I mean, Paul, you've worked at restaurants. Restaurants cut corners.
Oh,
I asked my wife that.
no, of course not.
I was going to.
That never happened.
I was
no
going
one's taking it to the lab to check
No,
on the sodium content of which is which.
Like, bro, I worked in restaurants and they're like, yeah, this isn't decaf, just whatever. And I'm like, people can't, like, there's certain people that can't have caffeine. If we say it's decaf, we should be giving them decaf. My manager was like, they'll be fine. I'm like, they won't be. Like, I'm serious. Like, you can't. If it's
They'll get over it.
if somebody gets decaf, yes,
give them caffeine.
if a man walks in with hypertension and is like, I could use a cup of coffee. You got decaf? Yes, we do. And you bring them a regular, they can literally keel over in your restaurant. Like, let's make sure. Lazy. I asked my wife the other day, I go, I'm going to marry these creamers because I had a big creamer and a little creamer. She goes, what does that mean? I go, did you ever work in a restaurant? Like, you have to marry the ketchup. It's just, if you knew what went on, you'd probably eat out less, to be honest with you. But that dilemma happens to me all the time, Benjamin. Let's get cranking on our San Diego Padres.
It is going to feel weird. Paulie mentioned this, that we are going to play the second biggest rout in Padres history.
Yeah.
19-2.
Yeah.
It should be unquestionably a joyous Monday morning for Padres fans, but it is not.
No, it's
and
not.
we'll have to address the reality of the situation that the team finds themselves in.
What's funny is the reality of the situation is not that bad, which is insane after the weekend that they had. It's insane.
I was shocked. I mean, even I, who checked the standings religiously, I didn't do it all weekend. I thought, let's see how far they've fallen out. And I go, wait, they gained a game in the wild card race over the weekend?
Isn't that nuts?
They're 2.5 out? How is that
out.
possible?
Oh, I hate this, man.
But-
this is that purgatory
But
we
they
talked
are,
about.
and they're still there. And it means, once again, pretty important week for the San Diego Padres. We'll talk
I was thinking
all
about it. If the series this weekend played out in reverse order, if they won 19-2 on Friday, got whooped on Saturday, and then lost on yesterday like they did on Friday night, like we would be so angry this morning.
There'd be no creamer talk and no
we
credit
would've
card
jumped
talk.
The text
right into
threads
it.
on Friday night between us and Adam.
Insane, dude.
I mean, we were all.
Almost broke me. Friday night almost broke me as a not only as a fan, but like as a human.
So much to get to. We will start with our Padres wrap up coming up next. Bennett Woods broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. Set the menu as well coming up on a Monday morning on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Men and Woods brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Before we get to our Padres wrap-up, the team did make several roster moves over the weekend, mostly welcoming back players, including Freddie Fermin, who was reinstated from the IL. Rodolfo Duran was optioned to AAA. Randy Vasquez returned yesterday from the IL to the bullpen, and we saw him in yesterday's game. That meant Ron Marinaccio, though, had to be designated for assignment since he had no options remaining. We'll see if anybody claims him in the next few days or if he accepts a demotion to AAA and remains in the Padres organization.
You could trade him as well.
You could trade him as well if someone is interested.
Somebody, I mean, he's pretty serviceable, right?
He's been pretty serviceable. That's the tough thing. The Padres can't afford to be losing serviceable arms, but at the same time, Marinaccio has hit a kind of a rough spell in the middle of the season. He's given up a bunch of home runs over the last month and a half or so, and the Padres need more effective arms right now. So probably a tough decision for AJ Preller. We'll see, with so many teams out there, my guess is someone will probably claim him and find a spot for him in the bullpen, but we'll find out in the next few days. And Wandy Peralta was reinstated from the bereavement list. Johnny Brito was optioned back down to AAA after he's kind of been on the up and down bus the last couple of weeks since he returned from his injury as well. So the Padres making a few moves. We'll, of course, go through the other games, especially Friday night's absolute gut punch of all gut punch games.
It was like somebody reached into my stomach, man, and pulled out my intestines. It was so painful to watch.
I try not to let emotion rule my baseball fandom. It was hard not to feel like that was the death knell for the San Diego Padres.
No question.
It wasn't, obviously, but it certainly felt that way, especially then backed up by Saturday's just listless performance in the 6-1 loss. At that moment, I think we're all thinking the same thing. Well, we wanted them to show us who they were coming out of the All-Star break, and they showed us. And unfortunately, it was a team that is not worthy of buying at the trade deadline.
It's the Royals.
Here's the Royals. Here's the thing, and I'll stand by this. I don't know that a 19-2 victory erases that statement of them showing us who they are. I really believe that maybe it's just not maybe. I just don't think it's in the cards this year, and that's okay, but it certainly didn't do much to – I mean, bro, to be honest with you, I saw they had built up a moderate lead yesterday, and then the World Cup started, and I was locked in on the World Cup. I don't know who I am because 4 years ago, if you said, me, I'd rather watch Pirates Reds than anything else on TV. But I was like, I'm not missing this World Cup match. I'm not missing it. And I would look at my phone. Oh, another run, Grand Slam. Oh, cool. I had seen enough the first two games. Now, I know baseball doesn't work like that. Anything's possible. The Boston Red Sox were dead, buried, trade everyone, fire everyone. They've won 13 in a row. I mean, and they are looking like a real force. It's starting to come together. And that's, these guys, Ben, were getting ready to.
more unlikely than the Padres figuring it out. That's for sure.
Well, they had good players. So
did the Padres.
They had pitching, starting pitching. They got some starting pitching that can really, really help.
And we'll talk about it when we,
But they after that third weekend, they picked up a game in the wild
whenever
card.
we decide to, break down when the season's over or when they've officially completely fallen out of the race, we will have to assign, the blame, the wrap up for the season. And I think that's going to be a very difficult task this year.
Do you?
You want to start with AJ Preller.
You have to.
But at the same time, I want to be very fair. Padres are 2.5 games out of a playoff spot.
Right.
So had they won 3 more games, they'd be in a playoff spot right now. Does anybody not think that if they had either Nick Pivetta or Joe Musgrove, just one of them healthy, that they wouldn't probably be in a playoff spot? And if they had both of them, they'd be comfortably in a playoff spot right now. I mean, they would have won a bunch more games if they had their 2 best starting pitchers all season.
Their starting pitching has been pretty bad. Like, we're not used to it being this bad. I'm not sure that Nick Pivetta changes it a whole lot. And the offense has still been putrid all season long.
Yeah.
The offense has been getting better, though. And we had that funny discussion last week about, I think it was in the roundtable. Should we be giving Steven Souza Jr. credit for actually fixing an offense that he inherited at the beginning of the season that was awful? All of his best guys were awful, and they have all consistently, Tatis has completely turned it around. He's been phenomenal the last 50 games. You look at the numbers, not just, the home runs this weekend. Manny was extremely hot going into the All-Star break. Has obviously had a cool weekend coming back, but Other guys have come up and started to hit better. And, Sungwon Song has turned it around. Jay Cronenworth has kind of turned it around when he's come back from the concussion list. Is he not doing what you're supposed to be doing as a coach and getting players better as the season goes on?
Again,
I don't know.
You know my stance.
It's not the coaches,
it's the players. It's look, the ultimate blame, if you will, is always got to fall on the architect of the team, in my opinion, and then on the players. It's the players that did not execute in so many chances this year to execute. And again, I'm fully aware. Game and a half, picked up a game this weekend, 2.5 out of a wild card spot is pretty nuts. But now you're at the point where you're not playing well and you're crossing your fingers and hoping for other teams to lose to get you into a playoff spot. I know anything can happen. It's crazy. Baseball's nuts. Teams can go ice cold that are really good. Teams can get injured. Teams can get guys back and go on a run. There's so many different variables and things that can happen in the course of a season. I'm trying to ride it out as best I can. But I as far as like an emotional, painful game, Friday night was really the worst for me.
You, of course, mentioned the World Cup final. We will talk about Spain's 1-0 win over Argentina. Craig Elston will join us at 7:35 from Padres Hot Tub and the Chromaniacs podcast. Of course, SDFC returns on Wednesday as well following the World Cup break. It was a very entertaining game, though. No doubt about it. Spain dominated.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to be a soccer expert to realize that Spain could have won that game 7-zip.
Yeah.
But it ended up being very entertaining into extra time, and Argentina put up a fight, but ultimately Spain was just too good for everybody in this tournament.
The Argentinian keeper, Emiliano Martinez, Ben. Holy smokes. With a broken finger, I believe, a barrage of shots on goal. And he saved all of them but one. And he was spectacular. I don't know what happened. You knew Spain's defense was very good. You knew they were very, very good. And they were elite at goal prevention, having given up only one goal. But I didn't know they were that good, right? They couldn't do anything. Argentina could not do anything. And with the greatest player in the world out there,
dominated.
And still, Argentina's in it. And you just had that feeling, if this goes, they kept saying on the broadcast, if this goes to PKs, it's over. It's over. Argentina will win this. And they're just holding on. And when that goal busted through, man, that was unbelievable.
And I thought they were for sure. I thought Argentina was going to win 1-0 on 1-of-1 shooting.
Yeah, for real.
It would have felt like a crime against Spain had Argentina somehow won that game. But so many times during the tournament, Argentina was down or tied late and then went on a flurry at the end of games.
Rush.
And then after no shots for 116 minutes, they had some chances.
They had some
hold your breath moments in the last just 4 minutes of the game where you thought, if one of those sneaks in, they're right back to penalty kicks, where everyone says they're probably the favorite with their goalkeeper and with their experience, and Messi. PKs is what they were hoping for. They could have still stolen that right at the end, right out from under Spain.
Man, there's a couple of those corners that they had, a couple of the free kicks that were just like, take your breath away.
Messi had that rainbow curve that just the corner.
And people, congregating in front of the goal, those things didn't go in.
There was one where the ball disappeared for 4 seconds. I'm going, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I thought it was going to end up in the back of the net somehow.
I'm going to tell you this. There's a darkness over me right now because there are no more World Cup games. That's how good that tournament was this year, and it has completely turned me on my ear. At 51 years old, you can change. You can change out there if you're listening. I don't think I watched 5 minutes of the last one. I really don't think I did. And now I can't wait for the next one. Now the next one's going to be a little bit more difficult, if I understand right. Aren't games going to be at 2:00 and 3:00 in the morning?
Yeah, the next World Cup in 2030
Portugal,
is Spain, Portugal, Morocco, with a few games in South America, to kick off the tournament. So 6 different host countries, but mostly in Europe. So going to be early starts here in the United States.
Now, as a pretty novice soccer fan, I thought the game was called fairly well, and I thought that referee that you saw a lot of yesterday, I thought he did a decent job at controlling what was the biggest game of all time, right to that point. I thought he did a pretty good job. I didn't see anything.
It's got to be tough to ref an Argentina game.
Dude, all they do is they just chirp the whole time. They stand over guys. They push.
They chirp, they foul. They chirp. That's what they do.
I really thought
they're the best at it.
I thought he did a good job at it. I didn't. Did you see anything where you went, "Oh, this is egregious"? I really didn't.
No.
And I don't know a lot, to be honest. I'll be frank. But I didn't see a ton where it made me go, oh.
No, and I thought the second yellow card that led to the red was absolutely
100%.
the right decision there, as the the commentators also agreed with that. So
that was really good.
We'll talk about it with Craig at 7:35. In our 8 o'clock hour, we'll have our Padres insider, Dennis Lynn from The Athletic, joining us. All guests on Ben and Woods appear on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bang Banking, it's better. And then we'll have our regular features. Don't do this. Take on Woods at 8:20. Our Rindle report at 9 o'clock. And we're going to be giving away some Padres tickets. They got the homestand with 2 giveaways, including the poncho and the home and away bucket hat. And we've got tickets, I believe, for that homestand for the Padres Rockies all week long to give away. So we'll do that coming up. But right now, let's get to our Padres wrap up. Plenty of offense. It's nice to hear Jesse Agler with some positive calls, which is good. We'll do that right after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's your latest traffic update.
Getting to San Diego on the 5 southbound traffic is slow, approaching the 56 to the 805 because of construction. Balboa Park, the 163 southbound sluggish. I'm Sam Tidrick, Odyssey San Diego traffic.
This traffic report is brought to you by local veteran-owned Manny Sedano Ford in La Mesa.
Proudly local and veteran-owned, Sedano Ford lets you choose your savings. Get 0% financing on select models with 0 payments for 90 days, or drive a new Bronco Sport for just $1 down and $401 a month. For more details on these offers, visit SedanoFord.com.
I love winning, man. I love winning. You hear what I'm saying? It's like better than losing. Are you ready?
How did things play out in yesterday's game?
I liked last night's game.
It's time for the
Padres wrap-up
with Ben and Woods.
You guys are the voice of San Diego.
Brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Hey, player, the rooftop pool's open. Day passes are available, and the spa is calling your name. Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
0-1. Caglione gets a hanging breaking ball, hits it a mile to deep right field. Way back and gone. Moonshot over the bullpen and right. And for Caglione, his 16th home run of the year. It extends his career-high hitting streak to 10 games just like that. And the Royals lead it 1-0. 2-2 pitch. Fernando lines it into right field. That's down at a base hit. Rengifo has scored to tie it. Bowen's on his way. He'll score as the Padres go ahead. A 2-run single for Fernando Tatis Jr. It's 2-1. Here's the pitch after all. That grounder through the right side and a base hit. Campusano has scored. Fernando advances to third. RBI single, Jackson Merrill, and it's 3-1. First pitch grounded fair up the third base line. That'll roll all the way towards the left field corner. That will get Bogarts home. Bowen speeds into second base, an RBI double. And now 5-1 Padres here in the third. One. And Campusano smashes it into right field. That's a base hit. Bowen rounding third on his way. Caglione's throw to the plate. The tag is not in time. Head first slide avoided Maley's glove. And another base hit brings home another run. It's 6-1. 1-0 to Collins in the air to left center field. Long run Bowen. He was playing shallow. Going back, going to be over his head. That'll get the run home. Caglione rounds third to score. Collins into second base with an RBI double. But the Royals get one here. Merrill swings, hits it in the air to left center field. Thomas backing up, still going back. Ooh. He's at the wall. This one gonna go. Jackson Merrill, an opposite field shot. His third hit of the day, and the Padres get the run back. It's 7-2. 2-2, reach four, hit in the air to left field and deep. Collins going straight back, still going back. This one gonna go. Fernando homers for a second consecutive day. A one-out solo shot into the Padre bullpen in left field, and it's 8-2 here in the sixth. 2-1 pitch, swung on, hit in the air to left field, straight away, deep. Collins drifting back, still going back. He is at the wall, leaps up, it's gonna go! Grand slam tie, France! The KC Killer strikes at Kauffman Stadium, and an exclamation point here in the eighth inning. This one ripped in the air deep down the right field line for Merrill, and it is gone. A home run. Two-run shot, Jackson Merrill. as the Padres have to 14 and 15 here in the top of the ninth inning. His second home run of the day. France swings, sends one in the air to left center field, way back, and this one gonna go. Ty France with a home run for the second consecutive inning. This one comes against Tolbert, and it's 16-2. Swings here, hits it out to right field. Caglione over to his right, not going to get there. That'll get another 2 runs home. It is 19-2. It's a 2-1 and a chopper to the right side. And Duhar handles it on the backhand, flips to Peralta, covering in time, and the ball game is over. The biggest offensive day of 2026 for the Padres is done. 19 runs, 19 hits here on a steamy Sunday in Kansas City as Ty France continues to terrorize the Royals, and the Padres collect a 19-2 win to avoid the sweep here at Kauffman Stadium.
Good feeling, when we had runners in scoring position, we took some really good at-bats, and we were able to come through and get some good results. It's been a tough kind of go with the offense a little bit, and it's nice when, hey, that's how we should play. We're going to put 19 runs every time, but we're going to be able to take at-bats, runners in scoring position. Yeah, that's kind of what we're hoping for the rest of the year.
Well, if you're into numerology, 19 runs on 19 hits would tend to be a good omen for San Diego Padres fans,
yes,
who, of course, are obsessed with the number 19.
Yes.
Don't even know if numerology can save this season. It's funny, they gave up the home run to Jack Caglione in the first inning, Herman Marquez, and you're thinking, here we go again.
Here we go.
I mean, this is clearly going to be a sweep. Marquez is going to get lit up, and then the Padres scored 19 of the next 20 runs in the game to win 19-2. And everyone really took part in the action, other than I think Manny's the only guy who didn't hit a sac fly, but other than that, did not have a hit yesterday. But
on the 19th, by the way.
On the 19th, wow.
On my
your birthday.
51, Trevor Hoffman.
19 hits, 19th of July.
Okay.
Is this where the Padres turn it all around?
And win 19 in a row.
It's about what it would take.
It's about what it would take. 19
Yeah, no, they'd
straight.
be fine. If they won 19 in a row,
They'd be good.
They would actually be fine.
Yes.
And probably should buy at the trade deadline.
Correct. Yeah, it's the age-old question that I'm sure you're going to hear every person on this radio station and maybe even a few more talking about this week. Where does that leave us? Well, it doesn't really leave us with much other than thank goodness that some of the other teams that are ahead of you lost and are playing like absolute canned ass right now. I'm talking about the Miami Marlins dropping 6 in a row. You're going to be playing them next week, later this week. So here we go. Like, what are we made of? I when they came out, Benny, and we haven't talked about Fridays yet, so I'm gonna hold off. But I really want to talk about Friday night's game because I've been chomping at the bit since it happened to talk about it. Almost texted you guys to say, should we do a live stream? That's how mad I was. But the ambient had kicked in at that point. Probably wouldn't have gone well for me.
The couple of notes, you don't usually have like key moments in a 19-2 game, but bottom of the fourth inning, when I think it was 7-2, you're comfortably ahead, but we've seen the Padres lose
like,
comfortable leads.
Define
before.
Comfortable.
19-2.
Marquez loads the bases with nobody out.
Yep.
And Yuki Matsui comes in.
Great.
And does a phenomenal job in getting out of the bases loaded jam. One of his finest moments.
Yes.
He's had a really good season. I'm sure we'll bring up the fact that, they could have gone to Yuki Matsui in the 10th inning rather than Kyle Hart.
Yep.
Again, I'm not going to throw Kyle Hart too much under the bus for what happened in that inning, but
we haven't talked about it yet, but it's crazy when you think about it.
Also, just a funny note, I don't know, funny for the guys involved, but I heard this one on MLB Network radio as I was driving in, and they don't know if it's ever happened before, but in the final 2 innings yesterday, the Padres batted around both times.
Crazy, man.
And in both innings, one guy made 2 outs in the inning. It was Jace Bowen in the 8th, made the first out and the last out. And it was Freddie Fermin in the 9th, made both the first out and the last out. In consecutive innings, you had 2 guys making 2 outs in the same inning. But that's how good everybody else was. No one was making it out. You've done it? Made 2 outs in the same inning?
Yes. Sure have. It's like the worst feeling you can have on a baseball. Everybody else is like, woo, time to eat. You're like, here, how about a little rollover to the shortstop? I have done it.
Now, just like with the Padres 23 whatever loss in Chicago.
Yeah.
A lot of those runs at the end came against Rodolfo Duran.
Yes.
Keep in mind, last inning came against a position player, Tolbert, who was pitching for the Kansas City Royals, and they were teeing off. Looks like these Padres would be good softball players against the Ephus pitch coming in.
Matthew said, I think I yelled. Does he make you nervous still, Woodsy, at the bar when Yuki came in and torched 3 guys in a row? The answer, Matthew, is yes, he does. He still makes me nervous. I'm still uncomfortable. I'm just, this team breeds uncomfortability in you. There's just nobody other than Mason Miller you can really rely on night in and night out.
Maybe it's the start of the 19-game winning streak. Maybe it saves the season. I'm going to assume for now that it is not. Let's talk about the game that might have been the death knell. We'll skip over Saturday and go right to Friday, I think, when we come back.
Yeah.
With Ben Woods, I know everyone wants to talk about it on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Pitch here, grounded slowly through the left side. That's a base hit. Might win it. Massey has scored. Lofton's on his way. Bowen's throw to the plate is not in time. A 2-run walk-off single for Carter Jensen. And after the Padres got 3 in the top of the 10th inning, Kansas City answers back with 4 in the bottom. And the Royals walk off on a wild night in Kansas City, and they win it 7-6.
Makes me want to cry. Like, I was so upset with that game. And it's the beauty of sport, right? And it's the agony and the ecstasy, because the previous half inning, I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Right. That's that fight. That's exactly what we've been looking for. Yes. Like, God, that's how you do it.
It felt like a positive turning point for the season, the way the Padres fought there in the 9th and the 10th innings. I mean, an incredible game. Baseball coverage on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years, guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that. So it started well as a pretty decent pitchers duel between Michael King and Seth Lugo.
Yep.
Opened the second half of the season. Padres were able to scratch across a couple on a bad play by the infield on a Luis Camposano grounder up the middle. So they got that 2-1 lead.
Yep.
You're hoping the bullpen can hold it, but Bradley Rodriguez gives up a run in the 6th, and then Adrian Morejon, not perfect, gives up the run in the 8th, and the Padres are set up for a really tough loss to open the second half, but one that kind of looked like a lot of their first half losses this season. They're down to the final out, obviously, and then Ty France delivers the game-tying home run just right when they needed it.
Hanging slider or something right down the middle. And
big swing, new life. I mean, you could see the electricity in the Padres dugout.
They were so fired up for him.
And then it starts to be decision time for manager Craig Stammen. Many decisions that start in this moment. They could have gone different ways.
2 outs, by the way. So 2 outs, we got to, like, you're kind of resigned to the fact that we'll come and get him tomorrow. And man, Ty France swings that, and you're like, now things get going.
First decision, bottom of the 9th inning, 3-3 game. Who do you bring in? Do you go with Mason Miller and try to make sure it gets to the 10th, or do you save Mason Miller knowing we're going to have to win? If we win this one, we're going to have to win it in the 10th, maybe get a raw run across, and then keep the run from scoring. We've had this discussion many times. Craig Stammen has done it both ways.
He has.
This season in extra innings where he's used Mason Miller and he's not used Mason Miller. He decided this time with a bit of a depleted bullpen with, Wandy Peralta was on the bereavement list.
Yeah.
He was down a couple of guys, obviously due injuries. Jason Adam and Jeremiah Estrada still on the injured list. He decided to go with Mason Miller in the 9th.
You had Yuki Matsui. Wandy was on the bereavement.
Marinaccio,
Hart.
Just those 3?
Now, one of those 3 guys has to get you 3 outs in the 9th inning of a tie ball game.
Right.
Okay? So, again, Marinaccio, Hart, Yuki Matsui. Okay. So, he decides to go with fresh out of the break, threw 4 pitches in the All-Star game, ready to go. Mason Miller.
And maybe hoping that, it's a quick inning, gets them quickly through the bottom of the 9th and might still have something in the tank for the 10th. Unfortunately, it was anything but an easy and quick inning for Mason Miller. Gave up a very unlucky bloop to start the inning that landed on the foul line over Manny Machado's head, just the perfect wrong spot. And then in a very, very rare situation, Mason Miller hung one to Carter Jensen, who hit a double off the wall. First extra base hit Mason Miller had allowed since August of last year. It was a major league record in the modern age, how long it had been since he gave up an extra base hit. And quite frankly, the Padres a bit lucky not to lose it right there, but they were not able to score. It was 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. They intentionally walked the next batter to load the bases. Now you have Mason Miller in the absolute toughest situation a pitcher can be in. Tie game, bottom of the 9th, bases loaded, nobody out. Any sort of anything, wild pitch, passed ball, balk, ball in play, walk, anything likely loses the game. You need to strike out 3 straight batters in a row. Well, you've got the right guy on the mound for that. And what does he do? He throws 103 repeatedly and strikes out 3 batters in a row.
Unbelievable. One of my favorite moments.
To the Padres to the 10th. It was amazing.
One of my favorite moments of the season, by far.
And then the Padres respond in the top of the 10th with, I thought, one of their best innings offensively
all
the season. You got your free runner at second. Miguel Andujar is clearly trying to go the other way. Not only does he move the runner, he actually doubles down the line to score the first run. They continue the rally. The Royals mess up a bunt. You get a base hit, RBI single from Tatis. You get a really nice sacrifice fly by Bogarts. Manny rips one down the line. Looks like it's going to score more. They make a great play to end the inning, but you score 3. So you're feeling pretty good now with a 6-3 lead going into the bottom of the 10th. Now it's decision time again for Craig Stammen in the bottom of the 10th inning. First decision is, do you bring back Mason Miller? I mean, you really want to win this game.
Yeah.
I know that they really wanted to win it.
I think that's your answer, the fact that you really wanted to win it.
But he had thrown 16 pitches, and the last bunch of them were very high
pitches.
leverage.
Come on.
Yeah.
He's coming off 5 days rest.
I'm with you.
A must win.
I totally am. But when again, it's always – this happens all the time. And I had this conversation.
Every pitch for a closer is high leverage.
Well, there's high stress and there's high leverage, right? So high stress, these are high stress, like bases loaded, nobody out. So that being said, yeah, man, the way the time machine goes, no brainer, bring him back out for the 10th. And
if it's a 1 or 2 run lead,
no brainer, right?
It's a no brainer. You bring him back in.
What if it was 4?
There's got to be. There's definitely
what's the number.
If the Padres score 7, you're clearly not putting Mason Miller back in there.
I think when you commit to putting him in the 9th, you're pitching the 10th too.
That's fine by me.
I'm with 7 runs.
There is a cutoff. What is the cutoff?
Probably 4.
Is it 6? Is it
maybe
4?
Probably
is it 3?
4. Probably 4.
If they had scored 1 more than we all are saying
opportunity.
for sure.
I'm down.
You got to get the win. You can't get the save.
Oh yeah.
I think you throw him there. And I think if you ask Craig now, he'd say, yeah, I probably should have just gone to Mason Miller. The Kyle Hart decision,
if Wandy is an unbereavement, I think it's an easy call with Wandy.
I think it's probably Wandy.
Obviously, if you have any of your Adam, Estrada,
Morgan,
easy calls. But without those guys, you do have a bit of a dilemma. Now they have some lefties coming up.
I think
and Stammen said after the game, it was definitely either Yuki or Kyle Hart, and he said we liked the Hart matchups. I mean, they know. They have more data than we possibly could imagine on batter versus batter.
The data was fantastic because Kyle Hart gave up a bunch of 60 hopping low exit
the
velo.
Next part of it.
But that being said, if I'm the skipper, it's the first game out. We just had this miraculous, in our case, big swing to tie it, get these guys on, Mason gets us out of it. If I'm the skipper there, I go, I can put Mason Miller in again and cover my ass.
Dude, you got to think there is something called the intimidation factor.
Yes.
And if you're the Royals, put yourself in
Kyle
the Royals
Hart is
lineup.
The deep breath. You go, you see
3.
Kyle Hart and you go, we got this.
You're down 3 and you're starting the inning with a runner on. You're like, bro, it's Kyle Hart. We're down 3
making
with a runner on.
contact.
We're still in this. Mason Miller comes back out. You're like, yeah, it's probably it.
I think there's a good point to that. If you have Mason Miller out there.
Okay, so again, Paulie, it's a great point you make. How many times in a baseball game do you see a guy shoving, then they go to the bullpen and you can see the other team licking their chops like a
but after throwing, 16 high stress pitches, let's say Mason Miller, and we've seen this many times before. Let's say he walks the first batter on an 8 pitch at bat.
Right.
And now he's on 24 pitches and now the tying run's coming up. Let's say the next at bat.
Can you explain that though?
6 pitches and you get the guy. Now you're at 30 pitches and you're going, man, now
we have to go to
now do we
Kyle
have to go to
or
the bullpen
Yuki?
because he's now up over 30. There's still 1 out. The tying run's coming up. You don't want to bring in one of those guys, with that situation. So is it better just going with one of them to start the innings?
I think if you lose with Mason Miller, you tip your cap.
If you lose with Mason Miller,
sure. But what if the inning continues to go on and on? If you wreck Mason Miller, that's the worst possible outcome.
How are you going to wreck it?
By throwing him like 42 pitches
what do you mean?
that inning? When do you take him out?
The game's going to end. It's the 9th inning. It's going to be a walk-off before he throws 50 pitches.
He's thrown 20, 25 pitch innings. You can't let him go.
He hadn't pitched in a week.
30, 35, 40 pitches. So
I think again, it's the opponent, right? They're 20 games below 500. If they see Mason Miller come out for the 10th or the 10th, I think they're terrified. I do.
The one guy that I really can't blame in this is Kyle Hart.
He pitched fine.
What you tell him you can't walk anybody.
Right.
Hit your spots.
Hit your spots.
And he did. He didn't walk anybody. He hit his spots. He got nothing but weak contact.
64 mile an hour off the bat, 61 mile an hour off the bat. I mean, again, they hit him where we weren't. But again, they don't make contact much if it's Mason Miller, and Craig sleeps at night. If you, again, like Paulie, if you lose with Mason Miller and you're like, bro, we're trying to win a game and like we want to be buyers and like we want to take the first game of the series.
You want to talk about unlucky? The Royals beating Mason Miller.
Here's what it boils down to. It was a very prudent decision by Craig Stammen. Prudent. He played it very carefully and
he's also thinking about Saturday and Sunday.
He is.
If we use Mason Miller for another inning here, he's definitely down at least Saturday. Maybe he comes back Sunday. What if we've got a 1-run lead in the 9th inning and we've got to win Saturday's game? He's trying to win multiple games because the Padres need multiple wins, and the best chance is to preserve your best guy for the next day as well, thinking we can win this game with a 3-run lead in this situation. And if I manage every game, I know everyone hated when he said it, if I manage every game like Game 7, we're going to lose a bunch more games in the future by torching our guys now. He gambled. He gambled to try to win multiple games.
He was trying to be
in one game.
Could you say even he got a little cute? Is that now? Listen, I know it's not 1979 anymore, where Goose Goss is just like, I'll throw 6 innings and whatever. Like I know that's not the case, but in this case, the point Paul makes is great. When they see that Miller's out, there's a psychological switch that flips, and you're like, Kyle Hart's not going to throw. He was throwing 96 earlier in the season, but he was really soft tossing it up there, and they were getting weak ass contact. In a perfect world, that ball goes right to Cronenworth. In a perfect world, it goes right to Xander. And executes his pitches, and we get out. And you don't have to use Mason Miller for more than 16 pitches. It wasn't the case. And he didn't have anybody ready, and nobody was ready to go.
But why would you take Kyle Hart out? He has not shown one indication that he's done anything wrong.
Yeah, true.
When's like, Kyle looks like he's in trouble.
Barreled.
He never looked like he was in trouble the entire inning.
It was such a pain in the ass. Like just a little needle inning, just needle after needle. And again, if I'm Craig Stammen, though, I want to be able to explain, like, hey, now Mason Miller's unavailable until maybe Sunday. Well, yeah, I'm trying to win the first game coming out of the break. We are desperate for wins. He had only thrown 16 pitches, albeit high stress.
And this is where having both Adam and Estrada on the injured list are like, we can use Mason Miller because tomorrow I can just have Adam close.
Right.
Because I've got more high leverage guys. But now that you're down so many of them, you do feel like I need to save Mason Miller for more of these games as well, because he's the one guy that I can count on.
Kent says you guys don't want to blame Hart, but to be honest, if the Padres are up by 1 run in extra innings, would you really want Hart on them out? No. They weren't up by 1 run. They were up by 3 runs. And you figure if he gets 1 in on some weak contact, we're going to concede that run at second base because we have a 3-run lead.
It's fine. Give up a couple of weak ones, grounders, whatever. Contact is okay in that inning, because you don't need strikeouts anymore. No. You've got a 3-run lead. You just need weak contact, ground balls, let the guy come around from second, and you still win. Unfortunately, those weak ground balls just all found perfect spots.
And, Dub says a hit is a hit. He was in trouble.
It's not true.
It's not true,
That's
man.
not true.
It's not true. All hits are not created equal. They're just not, dude. They're not. You know better. You know better than this. I'm not defending Kyle Hart. I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, I probably would have. I'm throwing Mason Miller. I don't have anybody that can throw strikes. I'm throwing Mason Miller for 6. But I'm trying to win that first game coming out of the chute, especially after the dramatic home run, the dramatic, scoring 3 runs. This team has not done that. I'm putting Mason Miller out there, and I'm sleeping well. Even if he coughs it up, which he's probably not going to.
Right. I think it's just tough. It depends on where you're at as a fan. Some part of the fan base is probably like, I've been off the train for a couple of weeks now. The season's been over. And then if you were still hanging on, like we talked about it last week, like on Friday, especially, you're like, minimum, what? You got to go 7-3 in your next 10 to kind of decide what your fate's going to be at the deadline and everything like that. I don't know, man. Like, you got to win just about every game right now.
Yeah,
you treat every game like you got to win.
Well, we asked him Friday, like, did you misstep when you said, treat? And he's like, no, I'm not going to treat it like
before the deadline.
It was a prudent decision, one that I think a lot of managers would make. But I think with the San Diego Padres and what's on the table as far as what is our front office going to do? Do they believe in us or do they not? At this point, what is it? You need to ride Mason Miller. You've got years left of control. Like you ride Mason Miller. You ride him.
Well, you especially ride him if you may trade him in the next few weeks. Then you have no reason to 100%. Save him for
you just ride him. I think you ride your best weapon.
I think that's the biggest argument to put Mason Miller in there, because if you don't win, you may not have Mason Miller in 2 weeks because he may be traded. So there's really no reason to be protective of Mason Miller when he may be throwing against you at some point later this season.
And I totally get this point. MJK says, shouldn't a major league pitcher be able to get 3 outs with a 3-run lead? Every single time. Every time, dude. Every time.
Even the worst major league pitcher is almost more like
every time.
80 to 90% of the time is not going to give up a 3-run inning.
Every time.
It's just 3-run innings are rare, even with the extra runner on second base.
Especially with
it's
40
hard,
and 60
It's hard
team.
to put together a 3-run rally in Major League Baseball against any major league pitcher. You should be fine no matter who you're throwing in there.
I do. I mean, again, I'm if there's one guy, and because I DM'd a guy on Friday night, and I go, look, I said all 16 pitch innings aren't created equal, and that's true. We all know that, right? They're not all. Hey, it was a 16 pitch inning. I breezed through it. There was no breeze in that one, so that was high stress. But I feel like if there's one dude on the team, one that can handle it, it's that guy.
Yeah,
I really do. I feel like he can handle anything you throw at him. And hey, let's put him to the test. If you need 4 to 5 out saves the rest of the way, he is, I think, the guy to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And if it blows up in our face, we didn't expect this team to go anywhere anyway. Right. You know what I mean? Like they're scrambling for a wild card at this point. So listen, it was a prudent decision, one that backfired spectacularly, and it was one of the worst losses of the year in my book.
Gut punch. I mean, one of the worst losses I can remember. I
just went white, man.
As a Padres fan, honestly, it was as gut punch as I have really felt watching the game.
And Bavakwafina says relievers are volatile. Hart and Yuki have been extremely valuable to this organization at times. You can really spot the fake fans who are eager to kill a reliever who has a bad night. And again, if you're Kyle Hart, you're like, bro, I gave up a bunch of little dribblers. Like I don't even think he would assess that as having an off night. They were, read the velos. You tweeted them, I think.
I did.
They're 61.
They were all very softly.
This is the
hit
big
balls.
leagues, dude. If you can induce
73.2, 66.7, 36.7 on the bunt. The out he got was 87.1. That was the hardest hit ball. And again, so placed that he couldn't get a double play though when Jake went to his left, and then 57.2 to win the game.
It's the big leagues. These are fantasy camp numbers, right? Like they hit fantasy camp balls for hits. It was horrible, guys.
The one I hit off of you was probably about 65.
In your dreams, it was like
Settle
33 miles an hour. Next year, I'm gassing him up this year, Paulie. I'm tired of this.
Just get him on the trajectory.
I'm tired of this. Get out there and get out. So
no, maybe Yuki. I mean, it's easy in hindsight to say do anything other than what you did.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, can you at least make the argument to have another reliever ready just in case
Hart
doesn't have it?
I don't know why but he didn't not have it. He
didn't not have it.
Kyle Hart hit all his spots. He gave up nothing but weak contact. He had it. That's the thing. He did have it. He didn't walk anybody. Kyle Hart was fine. What are you hoping for? If he had actually given up harder hits, you might have gotten a double play and gotten out of the inning.
Maybe
at some point. It's like
stupidest game.
It just is stupid.
It's stupid.
All right, we need to take a time out. When we come back, we will get to Don't Do This for a Monday. More gambling trouble in the NFL. That was a big headline on Friday afternoon. And we had a golf rules controversy at the Open over the weekend. That is coming up next with Bennett Woods, broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We Know How on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, San Diego is an incredible place to live. We all know that, but we have to be honest. It's not getting any cheaper. Housing, healthcare, taxes, groceries, it all adds up. And when people start thinking about retirement, one fear rises to the top. What if my money doesn't last? That's where Trajan Wealth comes in. TRAJANwealth.com. Trajan Wealth's fiduciary advisors help people build retirement strategies designed for today's reality, factoring in inflation, market uncertainty, and the real cost of living right here in San Diego. They take the time to understand your goals and your comfort level because no two retirements look the same. Trajan Wealth has offices in Carlsbad, in Escondido, and at Liberty Station. And they work with people who want confidence and not constant financial stress. So if it's been on your mind, just start with a conversation. Call 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN-1 or go online at TRAJANwealth.com. Trajan Wealth, plan smarter, dream bigger. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth LLC. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Actual client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Hey player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Ben Woods brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. I'll get this week started on DDT in the National Football League. Big headlines on Friday. Just the latest gambling scandal in sports. This time the cloud lands on the Arizona Cardinals, where their director of college scouting, Ryan Gold, was suspended indefinitely for violating the NFL's gambling policy.
Oh, boy.
The NFL says they investigated and that Gold is accused of providing information about draft picks in advance to gamblers.
Oh, come on.
And he denies it. His argument is that the only gambling going on in his household is a $10 weekly parlay that his wife makes with a group of high school friends, and he was not involved in that whatsoever.
He's telling his wife, hey, he's actually going to be down this week.
He also says, I didn't know who we were going to pick. Only the GM and guys above me know for sure who we're going to pick. So I couldn't possibly give anybody information on who we are going to draft. Now that I'm sure he can give at least an edge
idea
on like, who are you considering with that draft pick. So I don't think the NFL is going to willy-nilly throw itself into a gambling scandal that it doesn't have to.
Some random guy?
Yeah, no. If they look into it and they go, he's probably fine, they're not going to end up with all these negative headlines for suspending someone with no cause whatsoever. He is appealing the suspension. He calls the accusations blatantly false, but where there is smoke, there is almost usually fire, and this is another bad look for the National Football League.
Speaking of bad looks, Ben, the Open Championship went down this weekend, and of course, all of the talk went to, in my opinion, I think he's like the jelly roll of golf. Bryson DeChambeau is kind of where I think he's entertaining. He rips the ball a long way. He does weird stuff, but he's really kind of
jelly roll entertaining.
That's true. A lot of people are entertained by him, I should say. But Bryson, for me, I liked him better a few years ago. I thought, he was really an interesting guy, but it's just kind of jumped the shark a little bit. He's really more concerned with his YouTube and all of that. But now Bryson was playing at the Open, and he got hit with a 2-shot penalty on Friday night after round 2. So they said that he improved his line of
his not his lie, but
not his lie.
He damaged like the long grasses behind the ball that improved where the swing was going to go.
Who among us? Where's my ball? As you're stomping around.
Right.
Oh, there it is. Okay, that's weird. Golf is a game that typically polices itself, but you're talking about Bryson's always got cameras on him because he's like filming YouTube shorts and things like that. There's always a shot on everything. So he was spotted kind of doing this and trampling down this tall grass. And he goes, me? I didn't do it. I was just walking to it normally. And maybe he was. But at the end, what happened was when they approached him about it, he basically held the entire course hostage. Like nothing was moving, nothing was going down until he was done with this heated discussion. He called them crooks. They took 2 strokes from him. He was playing really well.
He was one shot off the lead. He had a really good round. And I don't know we'll ever know what was in Bryson's mind and heart, but he clearly wasn't being careful with the stomping that he was doing. If you watch the video, he stands like right behind his ball and crushes the long grasses that would have been in his backswing.
Yes, it's just
I think the officials are like going, dude, I mean, that makes your shot easier. You can't do that. And to be fair to the rest of the field, there were some guys who came to his defense. Scotty Scheffler said Bryson is not a cheater.
Right.
Roy
Sanders said it.
Roy McIlroy goes,
Rory.
I can't stand the guy. And, this is typical for him. He kind of threw him under the bus a little bit.
He said, I think there's no doubt he improved the line in his backswing. Again, it's like whether it was careless or whether it was intentional, I don't think it matters. Hopefully it was careless, but I think the 2-shot penalty was justified for sure. Golf is such a funny game. My advice to Bryson DeChambeau would be don't hit it there. You don't have to worry about it.
True enough. You stay in the fairway.
Stay in the fairway. You don't have to worry about it.
And then the grasses were pretty wispy. So he and like Cameron Young, who almost won, just went with the bomb it strategy out there, and it nearly paid off for both of them. But it did not because of our do this on a Monday.
DD mega do.
Pretty awesome story. I was, obviously watching yesterday morning. Ryan Fox shoots a 62 on Saturday, lowest round in major history, tied for the lowest ever, and then comes back on Sunday in a pressure situation. This is a 39-year-old guy who has barely won anything in his life, never contended really in a major before, from New Zealand. Didn't even start playing competitive golf until like 18, didn't turn pro until 25.
I hate those guys, man.
And faces the biggest pressure situation of his life. But what amazed me, not that he won the do this, how fast he played. He's an example for all of us golfers. He gets up to the shot and hits it. The camera barely has time to find him. Even on the 11-foot putt to win the Open and change his life.
He needed that to win it.
He didn't walk around it. Look, he needed that to win. He was tied with Cam Young, who had been waiting for like 2.5 hours after he had shot a 64 for a potential playoff. He's out on the range trying to warm up again. And he didn't do the whole caddy, let's circle, let's look at both things. Guy just walked right up there, boom, boom, knocked it in. If we all played like that, golf would take about 3 hours to play. I love that from Ryan Fox, and a worthy champion of the Open.
Speedy play deserves
I think
awards.
So. Absolutely. Just do it like Ryan Fox, everybody.
There's so little of it.
And then he got on his plane in his economy plus seat and put the claret jug.
Claret jug, yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that
yes,
this morning?
That's pretty cool.
Returning to New Zealand, that's the claret jug.
That's pretty cool.
In the overhead bin as he's on his way home.
It's incredible. The claret jug is in a not Southwest, but like in a freaking overhead.
Next to someone's roller bag.
Yeah.
Right there on the airplane. And that's
so good.
Don't and do this for a Monday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, when we come back, we will chat with our pal Craig Elston from Padres Hot Tub and Cromaniac to get his thoughts on the World Cup victory for Spain and his Padres thoughts after the series loss to the Kansas City Royals. That's up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee
It's going to in a second.
right here.
That is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
So now what do we do? 39 days, 104 matches, had soccer on my television constantly for more than a month.
I miss it so much already.
And while I'm excited about the second half of the SDFC season starting on Wednesday night, that's still one, maybe 2 games a week at tops. It's not going to fill the void that's been created.
For me, too, the level of soccer is just so much less than what I see in the World Cup. It's going to be harder for me to go back and watch it. It looks the exact same to me. It looks the exact same, which makes it great for novice fans.
It's a wave. They're in their first place. They got a tie at Kansas City, which is a good result, apparently, over the weekend. And we're joined right now by our soccer and baseball guy from the Chromaniacs podcast and Padres Hot Tub on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bang Banking. It's better. There's Craig Elston behind the wheel of his car. I hope you're safely pulled over, Craig.
I am, guys. I'm in the parking lot of Fox 5 and KUSI. They've been using me as a ping pong ball throughout the World Cup tournament, one to the other. Today they both get a swing, so I'll be on Fox in about 20 minutes after we're done, and then I'll be on KUSI an hour after that. So I had to scramble here, but you get the inside of the Ionic. Hope you enjoy it.
I love it, man. Proof that people can change, Craig, and I am one of those people because I woke up this morning literally depressed that the World Cup was over. I enjoyed it so much. I watched more soccer than I ever have in my entire life. And I'm legitimately, it was a good distraction from the Padres too. It really was. I mean, it was like, it saved them a lot of the beatings that they should have taken.
Yeah, I said that on our main show last night too when we recorded Padres Hot Tub. Like the cover is over now, the blanket comes off for the Padres. They've been kind of hiding under there, going we're not really good, but yeah, now they get to step into the light and look what they did, 19 runs.
So I would be curious, what was their record before the day the World Cup started?
Yes, and
then you're like, I am only focusing on the World Cup. Right. I'll check back in with the Padres in 4 weeks.
Yeah, I think that's a good exercise for somebody to do. No, man, the World Cup and it just did not disappoint yesterday, Craig. I couldn't have cared less about the Padres yesterday, especially after the first two. And I put that match on, and I was riveted from the opening whistle.
And in the end, with all the pomp and circumstance and everything else in between, the right team won. Spain was the better of the two teams. There was very little question about that watching the match. I mean, honestly, it was as dominant a 1-0 win as you could possibly have. Argentina, no shots on goal the entire match with 30 extra minutes. And you heard a lot of people after the match saying some variant of football won today.
Yeah.
And what they meant by that was not, we had a great game, so everything is wonderful. It's that Spain played the type of game you want a champion to play, and Argentina played a villain's game.
Yeah.
They played a negative, dirty, fouling, just trying to get under your skin, really never moving forward, just trying to irritate the opponent and praying to get to penalties, praying for their goalkeeper to bail them out in penalties. That's an ugly way to try and win. It's not good for the sport. Spain played a beautiful game that is good for the sport, and I think everyone was quite relieved to see Torres put it in the back of the net.
Craig, I saw tweeted into my timeline hot take yesterday, and I know he didn't win another World Cup title, but it was not only is Messi the greatest soccer player of all time, but he has to be in the conversation for greatest athlete in any sport of all time. Your thoughts on the greatness of Messi and kind of where he stands now after this World Cup, assuming it's his last, although some people say maybe he's going to come back in 4 more years at 43 and do it again, or however old he's going to be.
Well, given that Messi walked, and they had this stat before the final, walked 63% of his minutes in the World Cup.
I saw that.
Are they going to give him a stroller at age 43? Is he going to have one of those things you see at Costco, just kind of wheeling around in the offensive midfield? This is the last one for Messi. He might be good enough to still play for Inter Miami at 43. He will not be good enough to play in the World Cup. And obviously he was an utter non-factor in yesterday's game. Is he one of the greatest athletes of all time? I mean, I think you can absolutely make that argument, but who are you putting him up against? We usually say Michael Jordan for team sports in the United States, maybe Carl Lewis for individual sports. I think you'd have to go through the list, and it seems like a really fun podcast to do. But Messi is truly and almost undoubtedly, the greatest soccer player of the 21st century. The Pele stand up, but absolutely of his generation and multiple generations, the greatest.
So, Craig, not to completely, it was awesome. If you have any more thoughts on the World Cup, I'd love to hear them. But Friday night was the Padres game that pushed me potentially over the edge. It was like my Joker moment. I couldn't tweet. I didn't want to tweet. I just was laying there, actually looking up Australian football on my phone because I had to distract myself from Padres baseball. It was pretty excruciating.
Aussie rules.
Yeah, Aussie rules football. Yeah. It was pretty excruciating.
Aussie rules football is great, and
That's
I think
awesome.
you did a good thing.
Thank you.
I think that was a smart move. Yeah, we did a post-game show Friday. I heard you saying when I was walking the dog, you thought about opening up a live stream Friday night. We did one exactly because that was, clearly one of the losses of the year. And unfortunately, the Padres have a little competition in terms of what's the absolute worst loss this year. But I heard your guys' discussion. And I think that you can really make a strong argument on both sides. But I think the most compelling argument to me is just the Padres didn't have the right team to win that day. You need an Adam. You need an Estrada. You need a Wandy. You need to have the depth around your bullpen when your starter doesn't go 6 yet again. And you pushed Morejon for 2 innings in the game already. And you pushed Mason Miller through a bases loaded, no out situation.
Yeah.
I think it's completely defensible to bring in Kyle Hart in the 10th inning in a 3-run game with the lefties that were coming up, with the area in the lineup that was coming up. I think it was completely defensible. I also think that Mike Schilt would have brought Miller back and they would have won the game.
Yeah.
And he would have just said, to hell with tomorrow, let's win today, because that's the style he managed.
Yeah.
And, that doesn't mean that Schilt is, head and shoulders better than Stammen. I do think the team would have won 3 or 4 more games under Mike Schilt this year. I also think that everyone might be miserable, and so it's a tough wicket. But undoubtedly that game burns, and to be honest, guys, for all the 2021 vibes we've been throwing around, this weekend smacked you in the face with 2023.
Oh, 2023, so much.
Right? Blow a game you should have won. Take a completely desultory, shoulders down, head slumped loss the next day, score 19 runs the day after that. That was 23 every weekend.
I don't think Michael King is absolved of anything. I mean, when your ace gives you 5, pretty much every start out. And again, I get it. Coming off injury last year, but it is in his numbers, 3rd time through, he's not bearing down. I totally understand why you would pull him. I do. And I like Michael King a ton. I do. He's the best we got, man. But when your starter gives you 5, at best, it's a tough way to manage a baseball team.
And it's okay club. If your bullpen is completely healthy.
Correct.
And you have everybody. It's a formula for winning. But as we saw, when you are down a few guys, it's not as great of a formula anymore.
And the number that I'm just going to keep looking at all year, that day the Padres did not throw a quality start. Seth Lugo did throw a quality start.
Yep.
And that was the 45th quality start that day against the San Diego Padres this year. I don't even remember if Saturday they notched number 46.
Did not. He only went 4 1/3 or
conversely,
4 2/3.
I saw something. The Padres have like only 5 or 6 quality starts in the last 30 some games, and they were
I thought you were going to say 30
Michael
years.
King.
Yeah, all Michael King. Yeah. I mean, he's the best we got. He's the best we got.
Yeah. So, when we continue to dance around, and of course we did another half hour last night on Padres Hot Tub of sell, buy, where do you trust, blah, 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 blah. I really, truly believe whether the Padres enact some kind of buy 3 weeks from now or some kind of sell 3 weeks from now, the only thing that's going to determine whether this team gets into the playoffs or not is Nick Pivetta healthy and pitching well?
Yep.
Is Joe Musgrove healthy and pitching well? Are the big stars on this team hitting for 2 months in a row like big stars? That's it. You could delete Mason Miller from this team or Adrian Morejon, probably not both, but you could delete one of those guys from this team, get Pivetta and Musgrove back, and have a better record down the stretch than you did before. But conversely, if Pivetta and Musgrove do not come back and pitch well, it doesn't matter what you do at the deadline. Even trading for Tarek Skubal at the deadline, you would not have enough as a franchise to make it to the playoffs or to get through any round of the playoffs. So it's really a weird spot. We've been doing all of this hemming and hawing. Should they, shouldn't they, would they, wouldn't they? Pivetta and Musgrove are the key to this season, and nothing coming through the door is going to change that.
Craig Elston, really appreciate it. I have some good TV spots, and we will talk to you next Monday at the end of this 10-game trip, where I am convinced that the Padres will still be in purgatory, that somehow they will not convince us that they should either be buying or selling by the end of this road trip.
Oh, there's no doubt.
You've been on the beat long enough, and congrats, guys, on the extension.
Thank you,
Great job last week, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks,
Craig Elston on our SDCCU fan hotline, and along those lines, did have the somewhat good news over the weekend that both Joe Musgrove and Nick Pivetta did up-down bullpen sessions and could be in line to face live hitters sometime later this week, which would be another big step toward a potential return in the month of August. Just don't know that it's going to be soon enough to make a huge difference for the San Diego Padres because they need to play well without those guys
too late
to make those guys at all useful in the last month and a half of the season.
We're also just assuming that they come back and pitch well.
Yeah, I mean,
if they come back and pitch poorly, that would be not helpful.
I'm just saying that's not.
But they're not going to come back and pitch any worse than what the Padres are throwing up every 4 out of every 5 days right now with Canning.
I understand,
and
but let's not
Buehler
act like it's Chase Burns coming off the IL or something.
Right. I mean,
I'd feel a lot better about those two guys going than half of the rotation right now.
We have 17 quality starts thrown by Padres pitchers.
It also
17 all year. 9 of them from Michael King.
What Craig said does also, and we can talk about it coming up in our next hour, makes a little bit of sense of the Bob Nightingale report from USA Today yesterday, where he said the Padres are expected to be sellers, buyers, and rival execs think Mason Miller will be traded. So they're just going to do
Who said this?
Bob Nightingale in USA Today said rival execs are convinced that Mason Miller will be traded, but the Padres will also be buying at the trade deadline.
Who said this?
Bob Nightingale of USA Today. I assume rival execs actually told him that. I don't know if they're right. No one really knows what AJ Preller's going to do. But
nobody knows what people like throwing out into as chum for the universe.
Yeah, teams that want Mason Miller might want to throw that out there as well.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about it all coming up. Take on Woods and more in our third hour next on The Fan.
All right, we are halfway home on a Monday. Ben & Woods, newly minted Ben & Woods, by the way. Congratulations, fellas. 3-year deal announced on Friday, signed on Friday. 3 more years of Ben & Woods starting. Well, we're still under the old current deal. We didn't get nothing really changed for us until January 1st, but got a little security, feels nice. Got some really nice comments over the weekend. Not too many negative ones, saw a couple, but I mean the positive far outweighed the negative ones, and I do look for those negative ones, as you know. But it was good. It was good. Very excited to get that done. Adam was very pleased.
That was awesome.
Texted with him a little bit on Friday. I thanked him and apologized for being such a pain in his ass. And he said he goes, even with the ball busting, there's nobody I'd rather have, which is nice.
That's sweet.
We do bust his balls a lot. Should I stop because he keeps delivering?
It's too fun.
It's so fun.
As long as he can take it, and it sounds like he can, I don't think there's any reason to stop.
I think he secretly likes it.
I think he does too. I think if we didn't, it's like at fantasy camp when the big leaguers make fun of you, you feel like you're part of the crew, right? If they ignore you all week, you're like, I would be heartbroken if they weren't constantly busting my balls. I think that's how Adam is too. And I think he does things knowing they're going to bust my balls for this, and I'm here for it. But I love him. He knows
that. A couple of fantasy camp counselors reach out, some other people in the Padres organization.
Yep.
That was nice
to
hear.
Nice. Yep.
From everybody. Appreciate everybody who sent texts.
Who was your favorite text you got congratulating you?
Well, obviously, Tony Gwynn Jr.
Yep, Tony Gwynn Jr. was a great one. Chris Ello sent us a nice text.
I didn't get one from Chris Ello.
I didn't either.
Well,
you got a text from Chris.
Yeah, so did you. But I noticed
didn't receive anything.
But I noticed. Now he and we have a lot in common. In that we're not great with technology. So this is sent to Chris. No, it's from Chris to me and ben.higgins@odyssey.com on the phone.
You can't text an email, can you? I didn't receive that on either my phone or my email. It's not there at all.
I won't even begin to try to explain that one to you guys.
Can you do that, Paulie? Can you send a text through an email?
For your purposes, just no.
Okay. Well, he also has an Android. Can you do it with Android potentially? He doesn't. He has your number though.
He does absolutely have my number.
Are you sure?
I've texted him many times, unless he's wondering who it's been texting him.
So
when I chime in, but I think he knows who I am.
Elisa says you can text an email.
Wait, he doesn't have an Android.
It's green. Unless
maybe that's
not Chris
because he
Ello?
tried to
it says Chris Ello.
Maybe it's sure it's Ello?
It says it right here. What does that say?
Yeah, it does say.
Chris
but
Ello.
Maybe it's because you tried to put an email on it. It changed from blue to green.
Yeah,
sometimes that happens.
Sent it to your iCloud account.
It didn't make it though. He said it. Tried to send it to my Odyssey account, but maybe Odyssey doesn't receive.
Why not just send it to
text
your
email?
phone,
my phone number, like a normal text.
Very, very Woods. Chris just sending off, reading his morning newspaper,
right?
Sending off a nice congratulatory
Watching
text.
the recording of a game from the night before, trying not to find out what happened.
Dude, it was so nice. It was so kind. He said, apologies for not getting this to you yesterday. Big time congrats on the 3-year deal. He said, it's quite an honor for me to work alongside you guys. It's awesome to see the kind of amazing show you've created, the following you've established. It's the best feeling to be part of a number one station. You guys staying here is without question going to keep us on top. Kudos to Paulie as well. So I thought it was very kind. I
would have liked that if I had actually received that, but I did not.
Yeah, you were out at the golf course that day with no service.
Yeah, you tried to call me.
I tried to
missed
call
a call.
Ben.
You tried to call me, and then I saw the next morning that I had missed a call from Woods when I was at the no cell service golf course, and I go, oh God, what did I miss?
Do you know what I was calling Ben about, Paulie? I was in my garage cleaning it out, and our friend Craig that was in on Friday has taken up golf, and I have a lot of extra golf balls. And I said, dude, let me get you on the Callaway train and give you some golf balls. I'll bring them to the scrimmage on Sunday. And he said he really liked soft ones. So I called Ben to say, which one of these are soft again? And he didn't answer. And so I just grabbed him one of each. It was like, here.
So the Chrome Tour are the good ones.
Good
that
ones.
have the best feel.
But are they
like
soft?
They're the top of the line ones. Now, Callaway makes super soft balls. They're not my particular favorite, but if you want a softer ball that's a little less expensive, you can go with their super soft. I play the Chrome Tour.
Okay, so I gave him one of each and just said, here, enjoy them. I don't think he'll be able to tell the difference. He's pretty new. Well, you can feel it a little bit, and it helps a little bit.
If you're still
amateur
new to the game, the subtle differences in the golf ball are not going to make much of a difference.
Correct. But if you spin it like I did,
once you start
75,000
RPM, hitting the ball in the air and spinning it, the ball can impact certain things.
So that's literally why I was calling you.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't text. I should have just texted, but I didn't. I'm going to call it.
Gotten it either. There was
super
really
soft
balls.
There you go. That's very fast, Polly.
Elisa says Elo is secretly so nice. That is actually quite true. Elo plays
the curmudgeon.
The curmudgeon on the radio, and he is curmudgeonly at times, but he is also a sweetheart.
Very, very much
nice
so. It meant a lot to me. My favorite, though, I can't deny. I got a DM from Ruben, and I was like, through the moon.
I saw that on my Instagram.
Did you get one?
Yeah, on my Instagram.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, he sent one.
Something happened to Paulie and I we wanted to bring up on the air.
Oh, we're doing this?
Yes, we can do this now. Throughout the day, Friday, we got several texts from several different people. I would say a half dozen. Hey, guys. Congratulations. So stoked you guys got that deal done.
Best news of this year. Like, this is awesome.
Please give our best to Ben. We don't have his number.
The amount of times somebody will text me and Woods.
Yes.
About like show related stuff a lot of times. And then it's just like they don't have Ben's number.
How have you managed to do this is what I want to know, number one. Number two, show me the way. Show me the way.
First of all, it's far too late for you. You have given your number out a little loosely.
I don't feel like you've given your number out enough because these are like
true. And
these are like sports people, media people, and they're like, I don't have Ben's number.
Where they don't have your number.
In fact, Jake Ariani, Julian.
I now have Julian's number in my phone based on last week's appearance.
Okay.
But it took until last week to finally have Julian Delgadio's number in my phone.
Hey, man, just want to say
I do not have Jake,
I was here,
I do not have Darnay. Yeah. Basically, what I do is I say, Paulie, can you text someone for me?
Yeah.
And he does it. And that's how I keep my number out of the...
stands and hovers right over my shoulder before I send it.
Me and Paulie getting like a half dozen of people all over town in the media saying, please give our best to Ben. We don't have his number. I'm like, he's been in town longer than me and you combined, and he doesn't have this person's number.
See, but like I gave you my number and you use it all the time.
It's true. Are you
just
smart?
worried that that's going to happen with other people?
All right. Is it fair?
I can handle you, but that's about it.
Is it fair to say that you're not a great networker?
It's very fair.
Because I would say
that's accurate.
I was at Dick's Sporting Goods and I was on the phone with Paulie and I was convulsing laughing. I go, this dude hates the network. He hates networking.
There's a reason why I have had one job my entire life. Not only that I enjoy that job and I enjoy where I work, but the thought of having to network and look for another one is truly terrifying to me.
I'm telling you, man, I was in tears. I was like, oh, did you get that? Oh, yep, we're both on this one. We're both on this one. We're both on this one. So a lot of people around town in the media wanted to say congratulations to you.
Thank you, people in the media around town who did not have my phone number.
I guess I respect you.
You can always send me a public tweet.
Yes.
You're blocking you on DMs as well, likely, but you could just tag me and there's a chance I may see it if you want to contact me that way.
I respect it. But also, you might have left something on the table. You never know. You know what I mean?
It's possible.
Right.
Speaking of longtime Channel 10 employees, I would be remiss if I did not mention the loss that we suffered at our station over the weekend. And since this is the Ben and Woods program, there's one way that we do it. But I wanted to say how sorry I was to hear the news about our longtime morning anchor, Bill Griffith, who retired about a decade ago, but had spent 40 years or so working at Channel 10 in various roles, including as sports director for a time, very, very similar to me, and then became a news anchor, kind of like the direction I'm sort of heading. Consumer reporter, did all kinds of stuff. I got to work with him for about 10 or 12 years at the beginning of my career. Our shifts didn't overlap that often since I worked at nights and he worked in the mornings, but when I did get to interact with him and talk to him, such a nice man, knew so much about San Diego television business, and he was a good networker, just had friends throughout the community, and had very publicly and very brave of him when he was at Channel 10 in the last decade, was diagnosed with male breast cancer, which is very much a real thing.
Yeah.
It's just people there's like a stigma against it. Like you think like, oh, that's weird. Why would a guy have breast cancer? But guys can get it. It's not as common, obviously, as female breast cancer, but he highlighted it on air, went through his treatments, on air, showed exactly the process and created a ton of awareness, beat cancer. And unfortunately, I haven't heard any details, but just a sudden medical issue that struck him. I believe he was 77 years old, but we lost him over the weekend. Really great guy. So, Paulie, if you would, in Ben and Woods fashion, for Bill Griffith.
And I really hope we can see more unity and more peace when already things are so difficult. So, shout out to his family.
Shout out to the dean. They called him the dean.
The dean of San Diego local television.
That's a cool nickname.
Paulie, this explains a lot. Yokel says Ben Higgins is an extremely popular person in San Diego. He's on TV every day. He's a little different than Paul and Woods.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm bigger time than maybe other people in this room. You have to be a little more careful about what you send out there. No, I'm simply just an antisocial introvert. I'm afraid of communicating with people. It's an issue.
Also big time. Get more attention from your TV career or your radio career?
Radio.
Your old radio career or your new radio?
New.
Thank you.
Right.
Suck it, Yokel. Okay.
We need a contestant for Take on Woods. Got a whole new crop of categories this week. Still trying to qualify for the trip to Las Vegas, the Fontainebleau Hotel, the $150 food and beverage credit. If you'd like to play our first game of the week, sight unseen, but you get the choice of all four categories: music, movies, TV, or wild card. You can call us now, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. We'll play our first game. Our Linsider, Dennis Lynn, will join us at the bottom of the hour, and we still have Randall Report, Padres Reach Around, Padres tickets to give away. So lots coming up before 10 o'clock this morning on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, if you are looking to lose weight here during the summer, and I did the program at sdfatloss.com during the summer 3 years ago, it is the best way to lose weight quickly and sustainably, up to a pound of fat per day and 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 60 days, eating nothing but regular food from the grocery store. No shakes, no bars, no prepackaged meals, nothing extra to buy with sdfatloss.com. You know, I don't like buying extras. They don't ask you to buy any extras at sdfatloss.com, unlike some other programs. And if you really want to talk about expense, the injections, they are very expensive. They can be $3,000 to $5,000 per year when you add it all up, and you never stop. You have to keep taking those injections in order to keep the weight off. And by the way, that weight is often muscle and your metabolism goes down. With sdfatloss.com, you're going to move your metabolism up so you can sustainably lose the weight. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. That's just a possible success story for you out there as well, and no exercise necessary to lose the weight as well. If it sounds good, set up a free consultation by going to sdfatloss.com. And right now, summer special is still on. Take $200 off the program for 97.3 The Fan listeners at sdfatloss.com. That's sdfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Brought to you by GL Pools, the swimming pool experts trusted by thousands of San Diegans for 20 years. The baseball season is in full swing, so is swim season. Make sure your pool is ready. Call now and mention radio for 20% off new service plans in 2026. We'll talk more Padres baseball, including upcoming trade deadline. Yeah, I don't think they've made any final decisions yet, but we'll hear what Dennis Lin is at least hearing through the grapevine from The Athletic coming up here at the bottom of the hour. Right now, though, we got a contestant on the line. Let's get to our first game of the week. It is time to play Take on Woods. Take on Woods, brought to you by Bay Alarm, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you, and we got John ready to kick us off this week. Hello, John.
How's it going?
Good. All right, you've got 60 seconds to answer as many of the questions as you can, 5 questions of trivia, and if you beat or tie Woods, you will qualify for our grand prize drawing this month. Get away to the Fontainebleau Las Vegas, plus a $150 food and beverage credit. Check out their 6-acre elevated pool experience this summer and book your stay at FontainebleauLasVegas.com. So you got all 4 categories to choose from. Here's what we've got. Our music category, just like last week, is called No You Can't again, but this time all the song titles with can't are from the 1900s as opposed to the 2000s. We've got movies, Fade to Black, 5 movie titles that have the word black in the title. We've got TV, Angels Among Us, 5 TV series that revolved around angels. And our wild card category this week is called Candy Bars. So music, movies, TV, or wild card. John, what would you like to play?
You know what? Let's do movies.
Movies, Fade to Black. All right, today we're looking for 5 movies that all have the word black in the title. 60 seconds again to answer as many as you can. If you don't know one, say pass. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. First questions are 2-second movie clip. Paulie will play a short clip. You need to identify the movie and remember the word black in all the titles. John, are you ready to play?
I'm ready to go.
All right, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins when Paul plays our movie clip. Again, fade to black is the category. Good luck, John. Let's take on Woods.
Let's put it on.
Put what on?
The last suit you'll ever wear.
Men in Black.
Correct. Which Marvel blockbusters starred Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan in a battle for control of
Black
Wakanda?
Panther.
Correct. Natalie Portman won a Best Actress Oscar for her portrayal of a ballerina dancer descending into
Black Swan.
Correct. Which 2001 movie tells the real-life story of an Army Ranger unit whose helicopter came under attack in Mogadishu, Somalia in 1992?
Black Hawk Down.
Correct. Which 2005 movie sparked the beginning of Tyler Perry's Madea franchise? Which 2005 movie sparked the beginning of Tyler Perry's Madea franchise?
Back in Black.
I got 4, though. The one you didn't get. Diary of a Mad Black Woman. But Men in Black, Black Panther, Black Swan, and Black Hawk Down. We'll see if that's good enough. Let's bring Woods back in for the same 5 questions in the same 60 seconds. It's our movie category today, Woods. John's score is locked in. I think you'll figure it out pretty quickly. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins when we play our 2-second clip. Good luck, Woods. Let's take on John.
Let's put it on.
Put what on?
The last suit you'll ever wear.
Movies? Oh, it's Men in Black.
Correct. Which Marvel blockbuster starred Chadwick Boseman and Michael
Black Panther.
Correct. Natalie Portman won a Best Actress Oscar for her portrayal
Black Swan.
Correct. Which 2001 movie tells the real-life story of an Army Ranger unit whose helicopter...
Black Hawk Down.
Correct. Which 2005 movie sparked the beginning of Tyler Perry's Madea franchise?
That is... all right, read it again.
Which 2005 movie sparked the beginning of Tyler Perry's Madea franchise?
Dude, I've seen... the first one.
This is exactly how John's game played out as well. 4 quick answers and then repeat the last one and go for it. They always get harder as we go.
That's what she said.
Running out of time.
5 seconds.
I'm out.
No, 4-4. You both missed. Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Saw it.
But that's good enough. John, you have qualified for our grand prize drawing. Congratulations. Movies off the table. We will have music, TV, and wild card remaining for the rest of this week.
I'll take a draw.
Yeah, that's fine. On movies especially.
100%.
You do like soccer.
I do.
You got a result.
I had
a result.
I had to be careful saying Black Hawk Down.
Black
Hawk.
Hawk
Down.
down.
So I said it really fast.
Hawk down.
Hawk Down. Black Hawk Down.
I have not seen.
How's she doing, by the way?
I don't know if that drop still kills me.
I have not seen Black Swan.
Oh,
It's a weird one.
I like Natalie Portman.
It's, that's an interesting
It's
movie.
a mind F.
That's
what it
well,
is.
when I was reading the description of it as I was going through and creating the category, I was thinking, ooh, this sounds like a weird movie. Mila Kunis.
Yes.
I had to watch that. I think
Natalie Portman.
I had to watch it a second time because I'm like, what the hell did I just watch?
Once was enough for me. I watched it once, and that was it.
But she is apparently very good in it,
She
having
is
won
phenomenal. Yes,
won the Oscar.
very much so.
All right, let's we'll take a timeout. John, stay on the line. Paulie will get your information here during the break. And then when we come back, we'll have plenty of time to discuss the weekend in Kansas City, the trade deadline coming up with our Lynn Sider from The Athletic. Dennis Lynn is coming up next, broadcasting live from our Built House studios. We know how. It's Ben and Woods on a Monday on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Quickly, gang, if you're a business owner and your company has more than 25 employees you want to, listen up right now. I know how business goes for you guys, man. Insurance obviously is very important. Your employees would like benefits as well. If you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just buy policy online. SuperSure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and your employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team at supersure.com. Access their tools like the fine print facts, translate your current policy into plain English. You can see what's covered and what's not, plus the business value calculator. You can estimate what your business is actually worth so you actually know what needs protecting. Pretty simple to go to supersure.com, one super agency, one powerful platform. All of your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com. Once again, my friends, it's supersure.com, paid for by SuperSure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency. He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Ben and Woods, brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Feels like this would be a really good day to buy stock in our own company.
What's that?
Because everyone's talking about Odyssey right now.
Oh, the movie Odyssey. Yeah.
Spelled differently. We're AUDACY.
Yes.
Of course, the Matt Damon, Christopher Nolan epic, The Odyssey, opened at box offices to near record numbers over the weekend.
I heard it was like give it the movie of the year already.
Really?
How
long? 6 hours?
3 hours.
2 hours, 50 minutes. We almost thought about going. It was a lot of places were sold out already yesterday, so we'll catch it at some point. I am interested. It was my favorite book in high school.
Really?
To read that I was assigned. Homer's The Odyssey.
It's a tough read for a high school.
Odysseus's travel, 10 years traveling back from the Trojan War to get back home.
I already can tell you that I couldn't make it through a 3-hour film in a theater with all the snacks and burger, like you name it. I can't, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Isn't there something nice though about knowing you're locked in? For
well, number one,
a long movie,
I'll probably
cool theater. It's
probably
hot,
fall
in the
asleep.
summer. You get the nice, cool, dark theater.
Yeah, dead asleep.
You're not going to make it.
Dead asleep. Will not make it. But I'll watch it when it comes out on. I'll watch it on my phone
over the course of a week.
Over the course
now,
of 6
everyone
weeks.
in our chat's talking about it. Like in some theaters, you can catch it in like the
Can they do
70 millimeter, whatever.
They do
You're going to
an
watch it on your
intermission?
phone.
Yeah, I'll watch it on my phone.
No, I don't believe they do an intermission during the movie.
All right. Not making it 3 hours.
All right, let's go out to our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bank Banking. And Paulie, if you would.
Happy Monday, Padres fans. It's time to discuss the weekend that was for the Padres with our Ben and Woods Linsider, Dennis Lynn from The Athletic. Brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Hey, player, the rooftop pool's open, day passes are available, and the spa is calling your name. Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
Dennis, it's good to have you back. We've discussed it in length in the first half of the show. Friday night almost killed us as Padres fans. Such a tough ending to that game, and it looked like the team almost had a hangover from that one on Saturday.
Yeah, I wasn't in Kansas City, but this is the curse of a 500 team, right? They pull you back in certain nights, and other nights they completely convince you that this team is terrible and it's time to sell everybody or sell everything you can. And other nights, or other days, afternoons, I should say, like yesterday, they put up 19 runs. So quite the quandary for AJ Preller and his front office leading up to August 3rd.
What do you get the sense is the general kind of sense, I guess, of how this team is feeling? You hear things all the time, Dennis, about, well, no, I mean, they think they can make a run and they're committed to making a run. And I in my mind's eye, get the vision of AJ Preller like a tiger in a cage, like he's kind of backed himself into this corner here with these aging and expiring players or aging and expensive players. And in his mind, he's like, we have to go for it. Like, we just have to go for it. What's your sense being around the org?
Right. No, I think that's a good way to put it. In a vacuum, right? You would say this team doesn't have the juice. This team's got to sell. This team's got to look toward the future. But the future looks pretty bleak right now because of those big contracts you mentioned. And the fact there might not be much of a 2027 season, the fact that the guys you do have contracts with are aging, and there's no guarantee they'll be better next year. So I think if you're asking the question of like what the team sense of itself is, I think there's maybe two parts of it: whether the people making the decisions believe in the team, and whether the players believe in the team. And right now, I don't think either of those parties really believes it's the team that's going to make a deep run in the playoffs if they even get there. But yeah, they have backed themselves to this corner where, they're only 2.5 games back of the wild card. I know There's a bunch of teams in front of them, but if you're still 2.5 back on August 2nd, August 3rd, I think you have to go for it, given all the factors that we just talked about. So tough place to be, but that's why they play the games, and that's why we still have a couple weeks to see what Preller does. Because if you look at the past several deadlines, he usually waits until the last couple of days to make some major moves. So I think that's what we'll see again.
Talking to Dennis Lynn here on Ben and Woods, and Dennis, I'm seeing reports and tweets and like, oh, well, the Padres have basically admitted that they would like to move on from Xander Bogaerts, right? I saw a couple of reports over the weekend. I don't know how founded or unfounded they are, but we've been through this with Eric Hosmer for years, and I just wonder what would that even look like, number one, and is there any validity to those comments?
I don't think it's anything new. I think they've wanted to move on since he turned out to not be the player they thought they were signing, which is pretty early, obviously. And then you look at his contract. Yeah, it's going to be signed through age 41. Yeah, age 41. So, yeah, there's not a lot of upside there for them to just hang on to him until he really, really starts declining, and we're already seeing that. So, yeah, it makes perfect sense that they would want to move on. It's just what is the cost of doing that? Do you just eat? You'd have to eat the majority of the contract if you're just talking about trading him. And if you're going to attach someone like Mason Miller to him, I don't think that's super attractive unless, you're getting back maybe a decent lower level prospect, just because Mason Miller is your best trade asset right now. And just a year ago, you traded away arguably the number 2 prospect in baseball for him. So I think that would be pretty hard to stomach if just a year later they're trading him and Xander Bogaerts for really nothing other than salary relief. I think Mason Miller, if you're going to trade him, I still think there's no guarantee. Depending on what they get in these offers leading up to the trade deadline, I think they'd still prefer to get real value back in exchange for him, like some top prospects, some top pitching prospects, particularly, or young major leaguers that you can control for 5-6 years. That's just a tough proposition for me, attaching Mason Miller to Xander Bogaerts. So I think it's nothing new, really. They did explore it last offseason. I don't know how far those talks got, and I don't know how far they'll get this year because, again, the guy's got a no trade clause, so that really kind of limits the pool of what you can do with them. So I think for right now, we'll have to see what the trade deadline bears. But I would be slightly surprised if he's not in San Diego after August 3rd.
I'd actually be shocked. And I've got a theory, Dennis, I want you to react. And Woods and Paul, you've probably heard this before, but I don't think it makes any sense trying to dump salary right now for the San Diego Padres because you still have to replace the person you are trading. Who are you putting in at shortstop? They don't have a young upcoming shortstop in the minors that Xander's really blocking. You're still going to have to sign. What are you going to put that money towards? I mean, the free agent class is not great that's coming up that we've seen. Are you just going to go out and spend it, or are you just eating a bunch of contract for no reason whatsoever? I mean, Xander is not what we thought he would be. He's not worth $25 million a year, but he's not a bad baseball player. Right. I mean, might as well just continue to roll him out there until you have like someone else that you feel way better than. And you certainly don't want to attach Mason Miller just to save, $7 million a year off the contract the rest of the way and eat the rest of it. That makes no sense to me at all. So I would be very surprised if the Padres made a salary dump move, especially at this trade deadline.
All valid points. I think the off seasons, it's just easier to do stuff then, although, this off season will be different with the CBA and really not knowing what the structure of the game will look like. But yeah, I tend to agree with you, Ben. That's just, there is the like, what do you do after you move him? If you do move him at some point. And right now there doesn't seem to be a lot of viable alternatives inside the organization. Maybe they go out and get George Lombard and rush him up to the majors. I don't think that's necessarily a likelihood. I think, there's a lot of questions. They're not in a good spot either way. And I think, again, to me, trading Mason Miller with him is not on the top of my list. But we'll have to see. I think this deadline will probably end up being, in my opinion, if I had to guess right now, some combination of buying and selling that does not involve Xander Bogaerts.
Yeah, agreed with you 100%. Talking to Dennis Lynn from The Athletic here on Ben and Woods. Craig Stammen, remains another interesting case this year. And it feels like I told these guys over the weekend, I said, man, it feels like even when he does the right thing, like the prudent thing or I'm going to walk this guy to face the lefty, the lefty burns him, lefty. It just hasn't gone well, and with AJ Preller, could you actually see a scenario where AJ Preller would be forced to or have to or be allowed to hire another manager after this season? Do you think Stammen's in it for the long haul, Dennis?
I thought he wasn't going to get another manager after Bob Melvin.
Yeah.
And then, he's since gotten two. So, let me preface this by saying I could be wrong, but I just don't see how he gets another manager, even though he got extended just in January. So it's sort of February, I guess. So I don't see that, happening. And that's probably why, I know a lot of fans have called for, Stammen to be gone already, Steven Souza to be gone already. But once you do that, you kind of point the finger at yourself because you're the one who hired these people. And I know Steven Souza wasn't hired by AJ Preller directly personally. That was a Craig Stammen hire, but it all falls on the GM's lap. And right now he's had 6-7 managers, depending on how you want to count interim managers, and he's had multiple of those too. So I don't think he'll get another manager at this point, which is partially explains why they're still sticking with Craig Stammen. Just not to mention the fact that any team in any situation, firing a manager halfway through his first season is pretty rare. So I think, they're inclined to see this through, at least through this season, and then it's anybody's guess after that.
Dennis Lynn from The Athletic is with us. I mentioned earlier, heard the report that Joe Musgrove and Nick Pivetta both had up-down bullpen sessions. You get any sense at all about some of the other players and how they're doing in terms of rehab and getting closer returning? I was almost surprised that Randy Vasquez returned without a lot of fanfare over the weekend. Then they throw him into the bullpen, which was an interesting decision as well. What do you think that says as well? Kind of a multi-part question for you there, Dennis.
It's the state of their rotation. Just these guys are not going to go very far into the game unless they're maybe Michael King, and the state of their bullpen. They need help for the bullpen, especially because of how early these guys come out. So if you have multiple, basically long relievers in there, that makes it a little easier to stomach how bad the rotation has been and how short some of these guys are going to games. So I get it that, Randy Vasquez would be in the bullpen for now. I think there's probably a good chance he slides back to the rotation if someone really falters in there, and they have to just be flexible and kind of be open-minded to all avenues with this rotation right now, because there just aren't too many options for getting through games. But yeah, I think there's not a lot of help immediately on the way from within. Joe Musgrove, Nick Pivetta is still looking at essentially August returns. Jeremiah Estrada still seems quite a bit away. Jason Adam, he's going to be sometime after the deadline, and I don't think you can trade him because there's just not much value there for a guy who's injured and hurt. So yeah, they're just going to have to rely on guys like, Randy Vasquez to come in and meet 3 innings every now and then for now. But I think for the most part, yeah, they're just going to have to be really flexible with the rotation because right now there's not too many answers within.
Yeah, agreed, Dennis. Talking to Dennis Lynn here on Ben and Woods this morning. I do feel like AJ is in a weird position, though, maybe for the first time in a while, where he could actually sell and people applaud him, right? Nor like a typical fan base is like, bro, we're still in this thing. Let's go for it. But I think with the depletion of the farm system, the kind of so far failure of a new manager, hire / hitting coach, whatever, if you sold and made a prudent decision for the organization moving forward, I think he would get applauded by a lot of the fan base. Not all, certainly, but by a lot of it. Agree, disagree?
I agree. I guess it depends on which guys you're selling and what you're buying. But I mean, there's guys who probably won't be back next year either way.
Yeah.
Adrian Morejon's going to be a free agent.
It's going to hurt. That one will hurt.
France, that one will hurt. But I mean, that might be the one guy on the roster, as much as it will hurt if they do trade him, that it would probably make the most sense because he's poised, depending on the CBA and all that, he's poised to cash in. And I don't think the Padres. Yeah, I don't think the Padres are in a place where, unless Morejon's suddenly going to go back to being a durable starter, which he never was. I don't think they're in a place to pay him that kind of money, given the other needs on the roster. So he's a guy who I could definitely see Preller's selling, and as much as it would hurt, I think there's a big section of the fan base that would be like, oh, that totally makes sense. And maybe elsewhere he buys a little bit around the edges, or he goes AJ Preller style big, and it still ends up being like a net buying kind of deadline.
Yeah.
But there are guys like Morejon, maybe Ty France, Gavin Sheets, guys who might not be around too much longer anyway, that you could sell and get something back instead of just watching them, walk away for nothing. And maybe you still buy in certain other places, you trade a couple prospects and you end up maybe not too much worse than you were before the deadline. So yeah, I think this could be his most unpredictable, his being, AJ, his most unpredictable deadline yet.
That's saying a lot.
We talk about 2019 being the last time he sold, but he didn't really sell that much back then. He only sold Franmil Reyes and Logan Allen, and he got Taylor Trammell back. So I think this could be more of a, both buying, selling kind of deal, but definitely a combo of both, if I had to guess right now.
2 weeks from today is Major League Baseball's trade deadline. So we'll have another conversation with you next week, and then it'll be deadline day in 2 weeks when we talk to you. Dennis, really appreciate it. Thank you for your time this morning.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, our Linsider, Dennis Lynn from The Athletic, presented by Hamul Casino Resort. And I think when you talk about sell or buy for the Padres, you've got to remember that the definitions of those are a little broad. If you sell like pieces that are going to be free agents like Adrian Morejon, you may buy, but not entirely to try to win this year. You need players for next year. You're
100%.
There is going to be a season at some point, I think, in 2027, whenever it starts, and you're going to need to fill out a roster. And you don't have guys coming up to fill spots for Gavin Sheets and Ty France, who are, free agents that aren't on your team anymore. You're going to have to figure out who's playing next year. So you may need to buy some pieces that, you might play them this year, but they're also going to be starters for you next year. One of the things that we don't talk about much that hurt the Padres a lot this year, Ramon Laureano going down was absolutely huge. We've pretty much forgotten about him entirely. But
I mean, he was scuffling, but still.
Because he was probably hurt and playing through it for a while.
Gavin Sheets has hit the absolute skids
now.
I
liked throwing him in against the position player to end the 127 skid. It worked out yesterday just to maybe get him off the schneid a little bit. But
great bit. Once he grab a bat, position players in. Oh, yes.
Time to shine.
The thumber's in. Let's go.
I thought this was an interesting comment by Spencer in our YouTube stream. about the managers. He said, we've tried the old school hands-off manager. That would be Bob Melvin. We've tried the old school hands-on manager. That would be Schilt. Yeah. The rookie hands-on manager. That would be Tingler. And the rookie hands-off manager, Stammen. AJ Preller certainly hasn't been stubborn like, no, we're hiring this kind of manager. He's trying all of them, and none of them has been able to stick for a long time with the Padres.
It's almost like it's the players.
Almost like it's the players.
It's almost like it's the players.
You could kind of cram them all into one,
maybe. Even that
Stammen's easygoingness with Schilt's attention to detail, with Melvin's kind of, calm experience and Tingler's energy. I don't know. You can kind of cram them all into one manager. You might have something there.
Yeah, maybe. I just, again, it's why when people say you defend the manager, I don't care who manages this team. I don't care. I have no personal desire to see Craig Stammen manage this team into my 60s. None. I don't give an F. Who's the manager? It hasn't mattered yet. You've had them all. I did the house painting analogy. We've tried it all. Nothing's worked.
All right, still an hour to go here with Ben and Woods. Paulie's going to give us some headlines in the Rundle Report when we come back, and then a look around baseball or MLB reach around and a Padres ticket giveaway. All before we reach the end of the show. Look ahead to the series against the Braves that starts tonight. It's Ben and Woods broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Watch it.
So you guys didn't see these World Cup halftime shows?
I saw a lot of people complaining about it.
It was.
I thought, well, I guess my taste is bad. I read a positive review of it, thinking that everyone enjoyed it.
No, they
because
did not.
I did.
Who was it? Justin Bieber?
So it started out with Madonna, and it was clearly like a pre-recorded start in the tunnels of the stadium.
They said she
at
was
the
live
Meadowlands.
for like 12 seconds.
And then she walked out at the end of the pre-recorded and finished with Ronaldo and Ronaldinho, and they were in this like SUV thing, like Jeep or whatever, as they came out onto the field.
How's she looking right now, Madonna?
Good, still good. Yeah,
So
and she sounded good. She sang music.
Well, I thought you
and-
said it was pre-recorded.
yeah,
for
but
her,
she
though.
still sounded good. And then that went into Gustavo Dudamel, who's probably the most famous conductor and doing his conduction of Seven Nation Army, but a instrumental version with Muppets and a full orchestra, which I thought was actually pretty cool. That led into BTS, which I didn't care that much about, but it was fairly seamless. And then Ted Lasso and Coach Beard came out and introduced Justin Bieber, which was weird, but he was kind of acoustic.
It was all over the place.
And
man.
not bad. And then Shakira closed out the show at the end.
Always fine with that.
Mamacita. Yeah, I just saw people all over social media like, what is this? I didn't watch it, so I can't really comment.
Let's see what the chat says. Did you like or not like?
Are you a believer?
The world. His performance I thought was pretty good. Watching it, he sang Hallelujah something. It was.
You're asking two guys that didn't watch it.
No,
I watched it.
You watched it.
I thought it was terrible. I was so bored. It was so boring. And I go, is this like as the hosts of the country or of the tournament? I'm like, is this the best we could come up with from North America?
Am I wrong? Okay, did Ice Cube perform at the World Series or was it at the celebration?
It was,
he didn't do
the parade.
Was it both?
Yeah.
Not the parade. When they were remember when Dave Roberts would spread his butt cheeks apart? And
I think it was both. I think
that?
I think they brought him back for the celebration because he was there during one of the games.
We're trying to wedge musical acts into everything now. Somebody made the point. The Super Bowl's grandfathered in. Like, that's the thing. It's the Super Bowl halftime show with blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're doing it World Series. I remember it was Fat Joe in New York. Yeah, Fat Joe. Yeah, so it wasn't the celebration because Fat Joe was rapping before a game. Like, I don't know. I'm down to go back to just the Super Bowl, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I don't know why it's any skin off my back,
games.
or is that the phrase? Skin off my back? My
Skin
nose.
off my nose, I think.
What's skin off my back?
Water off my back. Or
Yeah,
skin
I don't
off
know
my
why it's any
nose.
skin off my nose, if they have one or not.
COM says, why were the Muppets there? I don't know why anyone
little
was there.
kids.
They had something for everyone, really. And I thought for trying to meld a bunch of very different acts, I thought they did a decent job.
You could
of
have
it.
just brought the roll out, dude, and he would have covered it for
All of
everyone. Every genre is covered. Just when in doubt, go to the roll, dude.
Yeah, they didn't
you
have
guys
any,
know better.
as Angela says, they didn't have any hard style EDM for me. So
Yeah, that's true.
It was weird. I was like, I like the Muppets. Like, I grew up with the Muppets, and I thought it was kind of fun to see them out there. I wasn't expecting it, so it took me by surprise. But then I had the conversation with my wife, and I go, we were talking about, like, do kids these days, like, do your kids, do they have the Muppets? I don't know that the Muppets are much of a. I don't know how big of a player the Muppets are with kids these days.
I have kids, and I don't know if they're a big player or not. My kids watch Benchwarmers on repeat now. That's the only movie they watch on repeat. Benchwarmers, which is probably not appropriate.
Very mixed reviews and reaction to the World Cup halftime show.
Then again, that's the same that you're going to get with the Super Bowl. It's mixed. Nobody is like, oh my God, since maybe Prince, where everyone was like, all right. Even if you hated Prince, you're like, all right, that's pretty good. Yeah. Right. But I think that's the deal. They said typically they don't do things like this in the World Cup.
Yeah, I think it's a fairly newer development.
It's like an American thing.
Sure.
Well, remember when I watched the Australian?
Oh yeah, they had. What did they have? Was their big Australian rules football, like their Super Bowl?
It was their Super Bowl, and it was like, let's now go into the clubhouse, and these guys were like sitting in metal folding chairs with like card tables in front of it. And they're like, all right, now for the halftime show. And it was like dogs jumping over rings and stuff. It's their biggest game. There's literally 75,000 people there. Snoop Dogg was there, but I don't think he performed. And if he did, they didn't show it.
Was there
So,
too?
like, he was just like, what's up? And then, like, I don't think he performed. It was my favorite thing I've ever seen.
Know who Snoop Dogg's agent going up to him and going, "Hey,
guess where you're going?
We're heading to Australia for the Aussie Rules football final.
Right.
Am I performing? No, you just have to wave and say hi to everybody.
It's so good.
All right,
dude.
if the check clears, I'm there.
I was what happened Friday is I was DMing with my friend from Australia, Aussie Tony, and we met at the Oasis show. We're good buddies. We talk all the time now. And I go, hey, by the way, has football started? And we love the North Melbourne Kangaroos. We do. And I said,
the Roos.
And I didn't even know they started. He goes, oh yeah, we're kind of hanging around 500, trying to figure out. I go, man, this sounds so familiar. And so I just got deep in a rabbit hole about it. And I remembered watching their Super Bowl and being like, they have like Labradors jumping through like rings and like jumping over water for their halftime
show. Like a good, well-trained Labrador. Come on.
It was so good.
All right, Paulie, it's your turn. Go for it.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hey guys, it's Paul here.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you? I'm good. How are you doing today? Okay, how are you?
On 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a oh yeah?
All right.
All right.
Hey guys, it's the Paul here.
Hey guys, it's Paul here.
Let's see where to start. We can start with the breaking news of the morning. In college athletics, big news as Ward Manuel, the athletic director at Michigan, has announced that he will be stepping down at the end of the calendar year. And I think most people are pretty much aligned.
Paulie, why?
This is one of those, you are stepping down.
For what?
I don't know that this was his choice entirely.
Scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal.
He's been there for 10 years now as the AD of Michigan, and that's seen a lot of success. I mean, technically, but it's also seen as much success as they have had. They have had as many scandals and firings, and it's really kind of all culminated here with the Sharon Moore stuff and how the football program has been doing. But the big news of the day, Ward Manuel stepping down.
Crazy that the massive cheating scandal isn't what forced him
the
out,
Connor
right?
Stallions,
the Connor Stallions deal, and
Harbaugh just walked away from that one.
Then they had the assistant coach like creeping on people's personal accounts, getting their clouds full of nude pictures, and I mean it was just one after the other after the other. It
may be the totality of it all. Hey, at this point, we just can't look the other way anymore. We need someone else to come in and clean this mess up. But they keep winning.
And a whole institutional overhaul.
That's kind of, I think they keep winning. So maybe that's the whole, hey, we're going to allow you to say you're stepping down, but like this needs to happen immediately.
Yeah.
Like this would be easy. If they were losing at everything.
Oh,
we'd love to pin all the blame on you and then move on. The problem is they're worried, like, what if we bring someone else in and they clean it all up and we stop winning?
Right,
we don't want
average.
that either.
Yeah.
I will move on. I
His
saw
name's
something,
Ward, by the way. You don't see that.
Warde. Wardy. Let's see. We want to move over to saw this video a couple of days ago. In the sports and entertainment world, Fanatics Fest recently wrapped up in New York. The amount of stuff going on in like the New York, New Jersey area over the last few days was unbelievable.
It's crazy, man.
I mean, every celebrity was there. They were able to just bounce around from like Fanatics Fest over to the World Cup,
Dodgers,
bunch
Yankees.
of concerts, Dodgers, Yankees. Good Lord. It was really the capital of the entertainment
epicenter.
world, 100%. Fanatics Fest, kind of like Comic-Con for sports now. It's been going on for a few years, Michael Rubin's Fanatics Fest. And I saw a clip of Tom Brady, and it just had, I know I'm not the only one out there going, what are you doing, Tom?
Made me sad a little bit.
It kind of, yes, I kind of felt that as well. Tom Brady arguably or not arguably, like he's the GOAT in football.
Yeah.
And
nobody better than that guy.
You expect GOATs to stick around in some capacity. Like
be GOAT-like.
He's got ownership in the Raiders. He's obviously in the Fox booth. That's not weird. The weird part is like how much he is marketing himself. He's out there more now than he's ever been, and he's doing like he slapped Logan Paul over the weekend. They were like a face-to-face weigh-in for a UFC fight, and obviously it's staged. It's fake. And you go, well, Tom, what are you doing, man?
He's debasing himself, man. But now, okay, so let's play the flip side of that coin. The flip side of that coin is I acted a certain way for so many years. I'm so dedicated to this and that. Fine. I'm divorced newly. I'm going to live a little, right? And now that's his for me, it would be I bought a football team and I'm an announcer. Like, this is awesome. That's the logical next step. To debase yourself and with Logan Paul and people of that ilk, I don't know. It kind of.
You could argue Logan Paul's a bigger star now than Tom Brady is.
Correct.
Like, he's a huge star. I'm not like, but it's like, dude, Tom Brady, what you don't need that. Like, you're good.
You didn't need to do it.
But neither does Snoop Dogg. Neither does Shaq. They're constantly doing promotional bits and things all the time.
Shaq likes wrestling. He always did. He wanted to be a wrestler.
Kind of fits.
It doesn't.
But it's millions of commercials all the time.
Yeah, but that's
for
not
products
debasing
that you're
yourself.
like,
I don't think that's debasing yourself. That's just
like you get more headlines about Tom Brady now than when he was playing. Outside of like the scandal stuff, like Deflategate and everything. I mean,
it kind of just made me like. Now, midlife crisis is a real thing, dude.
Getting paparazzi'd with
girls,
Instagram influencers at clubs.
That's normal behavior, in my opinion, for a rich 48-year-old man that's single again. That's normal.
Still handsome.
He's very handsome. He's had some work done, though.
He has had work done.
You can tell he's had a lot of work done, man. He's just hitting
not shaming him.
No, I'm not. He's hitting that. He's hitting that.
You can see it, though.
He's hitting that thing, man, where that midlife crisis kicks in, and he's like, oh, okay. And listen, maybe his kids really love Logan Paul.
Right.
You never know, right?
Yeah.
My kids really love Logan Paul.
This is a chance for them to meet him.
Yeah, whatever. There's a million different things.
Yeah. I saw the video, and I just thought that doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel
Tom Brady. Like, I saw another video from Fanatics Fest of Cam Scatabo, who, by the way, coming off a fractured, like a destroyed ankle. Somebody talked him into doing a backflip on the stage. He did it.
Coach's nightmare.
Barely stuck the landing.
Yeah.
Almost blew out his knee
fine.
or his ankle. And I go, but I see that video and I go, that makes sense. I can see that happening.
Cam Scatabo.
Right.
Like with Tom Brady, you could see him accepting big, like 5-figure, 6-figure checks to speak at like CEOs invite him to speak at corporations at a really nice, event sort of thing.
I'd pay $250 a ticket to go listen to that man speak about motivation.
Really classy events, not a Logan Paul wrestling weigh-in thing like that. It doesn't feel right for Tom.
He's gonna. Hey, listen. My prediction is that he'll crash in a couple of years and he'll get it back because it happens. It happens to the best of us. You go through it, you come out of it, and you then resettle down. And he's a dad, and I think. Listen, when your lady leaves you for a jiu-jitsu instructor and you're Tom Brady, it's got to be a little bit of nothing against jiu-jitsu. Kick my ass up and down the floor, but it's got to be a little bit. Your supermodel wife leaves
Giselle
you.
broke him a little bit.
Might have broken him a little bit.
Yeah, can see
your
that.
supermodel wife left you and was like, I'm going to start dating my jiu-jitsu instructor. And you're like, I won 7 Super Bowls. Really? He's just holding up the rings at her. Like, really? Okay. I think it breaks you a little bit.
Mm-hmm. See that for sure. All right. Finally, we will wrap it up with a story that I just found a few minutes ago, and I'm still kind of sorting through it because I can't even really wrap my head and fathom like going through something like this. Got a story here of 2 men who are 38 years old who are suing a hospital in North Dakota.
I saw this.
Did you see this?
I did.
They are suing a hospital in North Dakota because based on DNA testing, they have discovered that these 2 men were switched at birth at the hospital and given to the wrong families.
Oh. And they lived their entire lives until
38
now, wrong
years. And everything they know got flipped upside down. So
how did they
connect? This guy, it's Kyle and Jeremy are the 2 men. They have no idea who they are.
This?
So during a Christmas gift exchange, Kyle Byland, had he got a genealogy test,
like
a gene
23
test. 23andMe in like a white elephant exchange. He's like, all right, so he does it. and it found his biological aunt was in the system.
Okay.
And they started going, well, something, it wasn't making sense.
Like, I don't know her, or
yeah. Right. Like, who is this person? And then so it says here, he was convinced as soon as he saw a photo of when Jeremy saw a picture of Kyle's brother on this genealogy site, he goes, whoa, we do look familiar. So it says here, they're suing the hospital. They were the only 2 babies born on their birthday, January 26, 1988, at a little hospital in North Dakota. There were only 2 babies born that day.
Oh my God.
And they were given back to the wrong parents, I guess. Like, the hospital.
Babies do kind of look alike.
They do.
The hospital's saying, like, we are not arguing that a mistake wasn't made. Like, we totally, you can't really argue the DNA. Like, once everybody else got tested, there was really no arguing it. The hospital's saying, we don't really have an explanation for that. We're investigating how this could have happened.
It's literally a 50-50 shot.
But it's also like, it's already happened. You can't really do anything about it.
Just the 2.
All you had to do was one little
I guess
mark.
For me, I think the only way I could handle it would be just to believe that was the way it was meant to be. I was meant to be with this family. He was meant to be with the other one.
Would you not want to know?
No, I mean, I always like to know, but
would you want to know? I'd rather not know. I think ignorance is bliss. Your whole life has been, and the parents are like, oh.
Yeah, Matthew points out you'd want to know, like, your medical history and family. Like, that's sometimes important information.
Yeah, that's true.
Just want to know what my life would have been like.
And stuff.
I know it says here, I was reading along, like, this happened 2 years ago, was the DNA testing, and they're in the lawsuit right now at the hospital. And one of the mothers said, Kyle is still my son. That's never going to change. But I feel robbed of the life I should have had with my biological son. You can't go back and replace 35 years, the first steps, driving a car, getting married. How do you make up for that? And obviously you can't. I mean,
you got 2 boys, right? You find out one of them's like belongs to somebody else. It's too much to wrap my head around. It would blow my mind. I would have a hard time with it.
Do you ever have those family members who don't look like the other family members?
Kind of, yeah.
You wonder?
Yeah.
Happens in Game of Thrones a lot.
That's a TV show.
I know.
Yeah.
It also has dragons in it, so.
Crazy. So yeah, Kyle took the gene test, found this aunt that he was like, who is that? Then they had her nephew, like his age relative. She had her nephew take the test. I'm confusing myself, dude.
There's a reason why. I mean, you'll remember from your kids being born.
Yeah.
They're pretty strict about the bracelets and like ID tags and stuff on babies now. Like this has obviously happened enough times where they had to come up with some procedures to make sure that it didn't happen. And back 38 years ago, they didn't maybe have all those procedures.
They didn't have a marker, an index card that says
there's only 2 babies.
Jeremy, there's two babies born.
Yeah, and then they drop the index card.
And the index cards fall.
The other one. It's like, what this
50-50 shot.
50-50 shot.
Oh my God, dude.
It says Kyle, who was born Jeremy, says he still has the hospital bracelet that misidentified him as Kyle Bylan.
And they're
would you want to know? I don't know.
They're not related.
No,
not related.
They're not related. They're not even related to their own mother.
Like one is related to the other.
Are all
person's
the mothers
family.
alive?
I believe so. Yeah. So Kyle's related to all of Jeremy's family, and Jeremy's related to Kyle's.
It's a cluster for them. It's a cluster for the kids. Now, do they all get together and be like, "Well, this is awkward."
Our new extended families.
Hi, mom.
I mean, like I said,
my 2 moms.
It happened a couple of years ago. So they're 35 when they found out, which I'm 35 right now. I can't even imagine if I took a genealogy test to find out your whole life is not what. It is. It happened. It is, but. It's crazy.
It's wild.
Crazy
man.
story.
That would send me down a deep.
It like hurt my brain to kind of. I'm like, how did this happen? How?
Scary.
Thank you, Paulie. Your wild story in the Roundel Report. All right, we will come back. We've got our MLB Reach Around. Take a look at yesterday and the entire weekend action in Major League Baseball. And we've got some Padres tickets to give away. All coming up. Broadcasting live from our Bill House studios. We know how on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 0000466. For a full list of games and rules, played at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
First, though, hopefully you had a chance over the weekend to check out 7 Mile Casino. If you haven't been there yet, it's San Diego's closest. Best card room. It's located right off the 5 Freeway Woods in Chula Vista. Just a short drive from downtown San Diego.
That's right, just 7 minutes away from our beloved Petco Park. And you can go sit down, play some California-style blackjack, Texas Hold'em, Pai Gow, Baccarat. You can get a delicious pork chop as well. Delicious pork chops, delicious Kung Pao chicken. I thought about it this weekend, man, getting some of that Kung Pao chicken in me. Best part, it's not going to take you all day. It's not going to eat up a lot of your time, no matter where you are, man. But if you're downtown, you're just 7 minutes away.
Yeah, friendly
Super
dealers,
close.
great atmosphere. They treat their high-limit players well. So if you're looking for a high-limit Texas Hold'em game or high-stakes California-style blackjack, you can play it or just go for fun with friends. Day out, evening out, whatever you're looking for, you'll probably find it there at 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Don't talk over the intro to Black Betty. One of the rules of Ben & Woods. Had to wait there for a second. Ben & Woods brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Still to come, looking ahead to the Padres Braves series that starts this afternoon, 4:15 in Atlanta at Truist Park. And we've got Padres tickets to give away for the next homestand. Right now, though, let's take a look around the rest of Major League Baseball. It's time for our MLB Reach Around.
They're doing the
Reach Around.
They're doing the
Reach Around.
Everybody's doing the
Reach Around. Quickly, before we get to the scores, a couple of notes over the weekend. The Reds agreed to a 7-year, $105 million contract extension with pitcher Chase Burns, which you told me was delayed unexpectedly.
This is unbelievable, man. Delayed unexpectedly because the GM, quote, spilled coffee on the extension. Like, went to give him the extension.
Like the actual printed copy of the contract.
And fumbled his vanilla latte or something, and they had to
reprint it out.
Could you go reprint another one and bring it in here, please? Thank you very much.
This came after the Cardinals gave J.J. Weatherholt an 8-year, $112.5 million extension. And then the Pirates have acquired Robert Hassel III from the Washington Nationals.
Bobby Barrels.
He had been designated for assignment for cash or a player to be named later. All right, on to the scores. We'll start in the NL West. The Dodgers and Yankees split a doubleheader after a rainout in New York earlier in the series. First game, Yoshinobu Yamamoto does the complete game, 2 runs in an 8-2 win. The Yankees, though, avoided the sweep on a Jazz Chisholm Jr. home run in the 8th inning after Tommy Edman had just hit a tying home run in the top of the 8th as the Yankees won 2-1 there yesterday.
After them winning the Dodgers winning the first 2 of the series, the Dodgers were like, we'll just throw Will Klein out there. Like, they were trying to lose that game and damn near won.
They will not have Shohei Ohtani for this series against the Philadelphia Phillies, at least pitching. His knee continues to be a problem, so having to continue to reach into their pitching depth, which they do have. The Diamondbacks rallied from a 7-0 deficit in the 6th inning against the St. Louis Cardinals. Geraldo Perdomo had an inside-the-park 2-run home run, and Nolan Arenado had a tying 2-run home run in the 8th, and then Max Kepler walked it off with a double in the 9th as Arizona wins the series 8-7. Quite a rally for the D-backs, who are now just behind the wild card spot in the National League.
We're getting to the point of the season where you start telling us who to root for every night.
It's tough right now.
It's very difficult.
We need a lot of teams to lose when you're the Padres, and sometimes they're playing each other. And like, I don't know who to cheer for in the Diamondbacks or the Cardinals. It's not sure. The Mariners doubled up the Giants 6-3. Luke Raley hit a tie-breaking home run in the 6th inning. Seattle wins that series. Reds beat the Rockies 9-6, although Hunter Goodman did hit 3 home runs, 30 home runs. Really good player on a really bad team for the Colorado Rockies. Elsewhere, the Nationals win a series as they beat the A's 5-2. C.J. Abrams with a 2-run home run. The first 2 games of that series were wild. Nationals won the first game 23-4 and lost the second game 15-1 against the A's in that series. Cubs get a Shota Imanaga 7 shutout inning performance to beat the Twins 10-1, take 2 of 3 in that series. The Brewers swept the Marlins 3-1. It was 1-0 Marlins going to the bottom of the 9th. They got 2 on, and William Contreras hit a walk-off 3-run home run as the Brewers completed the sweep. That's why the Padres are just 2.5 games back, because they were 3.5 to start, but they actually picked up a game on Miami, even though they only won 1 in Kansas City because of that sweep.
Did you see what Contreras did like the day before?
No.
Threw a runner out at second. It was a couple days ago. Yeah, threw a runner out at second. It was out, but they went to review and they called him safe. And the initial call was safe. They looked at it, he was out. They had him, and they still kept it safe. Not enough to overturn. So the very next inning, he catches like third strike, stands up, and throws the ball 400 feet up into the third deck. Just looks and just chucks it as far as he can. And I'm like, he was mad. He was mad they didn't overturn it or whatever. And he was pissed and threw it up. You'd never see that, right? We saw Trevor Bauer do it years and years ago over center field. Terry Franconis, it's probably the maddest he's ever been on a baseball field.
Wow.
He just yeeted it, dude, into the crowd, like for no reason. And that whole family has anger issues.
Another of the teams, the Padres are behind in the wild card race. The Pittsburgh Pirates beat the Guardians 7-1 to win that series. Paul Skeens, 7 innings, 1 earned run to improve to 9-8. The Braves over the Rangers 8-5. Padres, of course, heading to Atlanta. Austin Riley and Drake Baldwin each hit 2 home runs as Atlanta takes 2 of 3 from the Texas Rangers. Mets beat the Phillies 6-1 to win that series. Francisco Lindor 3 for 3 with a home run. Hottest team in baseball, though, no doubt about it. It is the Boston Red Sox, who have now won 13 in a row after sweeping the Rays with a 6-1 win. It's tied for the second longest streak in franchise history, just 2 away from 15, the most the Red Sox have ever won. And their franchise history goes back quite a ways.
What the hell happened?
I don't know. Just explain it. Explain any of it. It's just as wild as if the Padres all of a sudden just started playing the best baseball in the league for the next 3 weeks.
And just went on. It's inexplicable.
I mean,
man.
it would be more likely for the Padres to do it. The way the Red Sox have been playing, you thought they were just dead and toast. But they're not.
That's the Chad Tracy effect.
They're now holding the third wild card spot in the American League. They were out of it 2 weeks ago.
Records? I wonder what their record is since April 25th. That's when he took over for Alex Cora.
And the Phillies obviously have turned it around with Don Mattingly.
They were very average. Yeah. They were very, very, very
better
average.
than the Phillies were.
And then they went on a 13-game winning streak, which will really make you look like a genius.
The White Sox shut out the Blue Jays 3-0 to win that series. Colson Montgomery, rookie, has played very well. 24th home run of the season. Orioles sweep the Astros. Orioles are hot too. I think they've won 7 in a row, and they play the Red Sox, I think, tonight or at least this week. So 2 big winning streaks going against each other. And the Angels avoided a sweep with a 3-2 win over the Detroit Tigers. So
somebody just said, can we rattle off a few for F's sake? I agree. Just rattle off like 5 and give us a little bit of some good vibes, and I don't know.
All right, before we wrap things up in our final segment, let's give away a pair of tickets. Padres-Rockies game on July 28th. The first 40,000 fans going to receive a free Padres poncho at Petco Park. In fact, a couple big giveaways on this next homestand. If you want to start calling, though, 5th caller, 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. The Padres poncho presented by Soapy Joe's. And then on the Thursday game, July 30th, the home and away bucket hat presented by UC San Diego Health. So a couple of big giveaways for divisional opponents in the Rockies and Giants coming to town on the next homestand, last homestand before the trade deadline.
Very good.
All right, so call now for your chance to win. We'll have more tickets throughout the week, and then we'll come back, look ahead to the Padres series, wrap things up on a Monday with Bennett Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Got the thumbs up, the fatherly seal of approval when I picked my dad and my kids up from the airport on Saturday. First time the Pops has seen the new F-150. Absolutely loved it. Said this thing rides beautifully. I said, Dad, I'm so happy that I'm finally a truck guy. And went to the fields on Sunday with a bed of just stuff loaded to the hill. Did I send you a picture? Did I text you a picture of all the stuff I did? And it's crazy. It's crazy that I ever lived without one, man.
Plenty more room despite all that stuff.
I used to have a Ford pickup, and there's just something satisfying about walking up and just throwing it right in the back.
It's unbelievable. I'm so happy. Go to Sedano Ford and get one for yourself. Sedano Ford in La Mesa. Of course, they've got other incredible deals as well. The 2026 Ford Bronco Sport Big Ben is just $1 down and $401 a month. The single buck, get a truck, pretty good, man. Lease the Fierce, a full-size 2026 Ford F-150 STX. It is legendary. It is load lifting. It is a workhorse. It features aggressive styling and massive high-tech touchscreen, just $459 a month. With, you guessed it, just $1 down. Ask also about absolute 0% financing on select models paired with 0 payments for 90 days. That's 0 for 90. These fantastic, fast-moving Ford offers won't last forever. For more details on these offers, visit SedanoFord.com. That's SedanoFord.com. Don't forget to let them know Woodsy sent you. He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
it's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Final segment of Ben and Woods on a Monday. Tomorrow, we will have Jesse Agler return after a week off for the Incorporator on Tuesday. He will join us from Atlanta, GA.
Are we on P now?
I believe we're on P.
Yep.
For the Incorporator this week. All guests on Ben and Woods appear on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking. It is better. And the Padres, of course, opening that 4-game series against the Braves tonight. Pitching matchup for game 1, it will be J.P. Sears on the mound against Bryce Elder at 4:15 p.m. Tomorrow, Walker Buehler scheduled to go against Reynaldo Lopez, again at 4:15. On Wednesday, it'll be the aces of the staffs, Michael King against Chris Sale, again at 4:15. And then on Thursday, 4-game series, Griffin Canning set to take the mound against TBA, and that will be a 9:15 a.m. start San Diego time with an 8:15 Eco Water SoCal pregame show with Sammy Levitt, which means half day for Ben and Woods on Thursday. And we will have no Epic Wings roundtable this week. We will be back with another roundtable next week. Now,
so I'm emptying, if I'm Stam, I'm emptying the tank to win these first two, knowing that you've got
Sale and TBA.
Sale and TBA potentially. But
TBA is always tough on the Padres.
TBA wears the Padres out. But I'm emptying the tank the next
You
two
swept
nights.
the Braves the first time you met them at Petco Park.
They're going to be pissed.
You kind of need to do that again, though, if you want to gain any more ground. We've
Correct.
mentioned many times, fairly, Padres are just 2.5 games out of a playoff spot. But the Cardinals, Marlins, and Pirates are all tied for that playoff spot, and the Diamondbacks are just half a game back, which means you're not going to gain any ground. Even if you win games, you got to figure at least one or two of those teams are going to win or sweep their series.
Give me those teams again.
The Cardinals, Marlins, and Pirates are all tied for the third wild card spot with the Diamondbacks just a half game behind.
I just need you to read the teams again.
Cardinals,
Okay.
Marlins.
Hold on. Just one at a time. I'm going to tell you who they're playing.
Louis Cardinals.
Mikey, Ricky, Danny, Terry, Mikey, Davey, Timmy, Tony,
He's like the
Joey,
Cardinals
Robbie, Johnny,
established in
and Brian.
1840. I'm like, just give
St.
me
Louis Cardinals.
All
Who
right.
are they playing?
the Angels.
Great.
Great.
All right. So
All right. Next.
you probably need to sweep just to keep pace.
Next.
The Marlins.
The Astros.
They've lost 6 in a row. They're playing the Astros. The Pirates.
The Pirates are taking on the Yankees.
The Diamondbacks.
Taking on the Athletics.
All right. So those.
So you better win
So you've got
and the Nats are taking on the Rockies.
So if the Padres split the 4 or lose 3 of 4, they're probably losing at least a couple more games and dropping 4.5 back. And we're going, they look more like sellers than buyers. So you need to absolutely take 3 of 4, probably at minimum, or you're going to find yourself on the very fringes of the wild card race going into your series against Miami. Now that series you can actually head-to-head go against one of the teams that's ahead of you, and you have that opportunity later this week. But you got to survive and tread some water by winning a series against the Atlanta Braves over the next 4 days.
God, what kind of week is this going to be?
I think it's not. I don't anticipate it's going to be a good week. And there's not really any signs that the Padres are going.
They just scored 19 runs, Ben.
That's a good sign. Other than that, though, the pitching remains just so problematic every single day that you just feel like there's at least 2 days this week that they're just not going to have the pitching to win a game.
Yeah.
So throw away 2.
Right.
That leaves you with 5, and you got to win all the other 5. You can't lose a 1-run game when you get a decent pitching performance. Like if Michael King shoves, but you lose to Chris Sale 1-0, you're screwed. Like you have to win every single game that you don't get a terrible starting pitching performance.
Oh yeah,
because you're probably going to get 1 or 2 of those a week.
Well, and if
until
you do,
you stabilize your rotation,
and if you do chase it, you better make sure you win. You know what I mean? If you're Adrian Morahone for 2,
right? That's why Friday was so devastating. They chased the win, they had the win, they lost the win.
They had it.
You can't do that anymore. You have to win all the close ones that you go after, because you have too many games where you just don't feel like you're in it. Whether the offense doesn't show up or the pitching doesn't show up.
You're in good shape tonight, bullpen wise. You're
how many times do you talk about like managing to explain things,
cover your
yourself?
Yes, correct.
It's just like, dude, of course, in hindsight, it's 2020, but
everyone's a genius,
when you're saying like, hey, we got to think about Saturday and what if we need Mason Miller on Sunday, and then of course it works out where you didn't need him on Saturday or Sunday.
You didn't need him Saturday or Sunday. He could have sat on his ass for 2 days. And,
what has he pitched? 16 pitches in like the last 8 days?
Yeah.
Tim says they'll go 5-5 in the road trip, be neither buyers nor sellers. But if they go 5-5, they're going to fall further back. That's even winning. That would mean winning 4 of the last 7 games.
It's crazy.
Of this road trip. Yeah.
It's crazy to still be doing this, or to be doing
this.
But
you'll at 500 now, you will fall further and further behind.
But it's crazy to be doing this.
Winning baseball. Now.
We're rooting for the Angels. We're rooting for the Astros, the Yankees, the A's, and the Rockies right now. Desperately.
It's hard enough just to cheer for the Padres. Now we have 5 other Padres-like teams that we have to cheer for as well.
Do you remember that year? Remember that year it was so bad? Didn't we start rooting for the Marlins or something like in season? Remember we did just like a Marlins report?
Yeah.
We're like, what if we just became a Marlins show? Because Skip was there, I think.
Sure. And the Padres were out of it that year long ago.
Yeah. Who will be our team in the second half?
Probably the Rangers, because Skip is there.
Rangers. Exactly right. Oh boy.
But and I am rightfully accused of being optimistic at times, but I am also realistic. And the realistic factor is that the Padres likely have to play much better than we've seen them be capable of doing to stay in this wild card race.
Yeah.
Like things that are unlikely to happen have to happen. One of them would be Walker Buehler bounces back after the 3 terrible starts he had going into the All-Star break.
Horrible, yeah.
And you're counting on maybe 10 days off, and that'll help an older pitcher get reset and he can go on another nice little run here in the second half. You pretty much need that to happen. And there's no indication that it's going to. You need Griffin Canning is now 1-8, 1-9. I mean, with the Padres, he is now, after losing on Saturday, Griffin Canning is 1-8 in a Padres uniform with a 6+ ERA. He's going to have to pitch decently and give the Padres a chance to win some games going forward. These are unlikely to happen. And if they don't, the Padres really don't have a chance going forward. So realistically, this is why you're probably leaning towards selling. Am I going to allow it to play out, see what happens? Yeah, sure. I mean, there've been crazier things that have happened than Griffin Canning wins 4 starts in a row in the second half of the season, or a pitcher who had a bad first half has a really hot second half. It does happen in baseball, but the Padres are going to need a couple of those unlikely things to happen going forward if you really want them to have a realistic shot of going to the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. And you look at other teams, Ben, and we mentioned earlier the Red Sox. Well, I mean, they have Sonny Gray, and they've got Peyton Tolley. They got Peyton Tolley. Connolly early, I think, just went on the IL. But they've got young arms that they're counting on, and these guys are getting the job done right now. They got Ranger Suarez. He's also in the IL. Garrett Crochet. He's also in the IL. They've overcome a lot of injuries, too. You don't look at this team and say, well, if it's so many big ifs, right? They're relying on young pitchers to get it done. We don't have young pitchers. We've got old, kind of tired, broken down veterans on this team that they're trying to piece it together right now. I mean, honestly, like watching Randy Vasquez out of the bullpen was so disheartening because there was a time when he was good, and you're like, this would be a great time for him to figure it out and maybe be able to lean.
Or you can say, he was very Randy Vasquez-like, got a bunch of double plays, was effective. Maybe that's a positive sign going forward. I don't know.
Maybe it's a positive moving forward, but yeah, man, you set Brito back down. It just doesn't seem to add up right now for this season, and that's okay. They're going to have those.
It's too much of a stretch.
Too much of a stretch.
I keep falling back on.
It's too much of a stretch.
Yeah, don't mortgage.
Yeah,
don't jeopardize
Salas,
future years, future seasons for this.
I mean, unless it's Nick
year.
Kurtz coming back here, fine. You want to give Salas for Nick Kurtz, I'm in. Yeah. But other than that, forget it.
If you'd like to make me eat my words and prove me wrong, I'd love that. I would absolutely love it if the Padres went on a nice, winning streak or won 8 and 9 right now to change our minds about everything.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13 games.
13 games
between
going
now
into
and
the trade deadline.
All right.
You got to
12
win
and 1.
9 of them.
I was going to say,
right?
10
at least.
9 and 4.
9 and 4 minimum. That keeps you probably within a game or so of the wild card spot. If you go 9 and 4,
you're playing well. I mean, that's the thing is like you just haven't seen this team really.
But even then, 9 and 4 or 10 and 3, even like that still doesn't say all of a sudden like, all right, let's go all out and get Scooble.
No,
now,
that maybe is like now we're not selling at least, and we're giving Joe and Nick a chance to come back and maybe impact the last couple of months of the season. That's what we're looking at this point.
Wish I had a crystal ball. I don't. I do not. But we're in for the ride. Remember, we always say, enjoy the ride. Of course we are. Enjoy the ride.
Then we will be here every morning for the ride. Win or lose. And
except for Thursday, we'll be here half a morning.
That's right.
Which is great. I'll take that.
Oh,
nice. Do we even have time?
One quick minute here.
Scare me to death.
Would you rather have unlimited time or unlimited money?
We've done this one.
Have we?
Yeah, we did. Okay. I said time. You both said money. I said with the time, you could make money.
Oh, Paulie, right up against it.
Let's go for another one.
I am nervous.
It's wrong to do so, but what is something that you judge people for?
We're going to have to do this in foreplay.
Yeah, we can just continue
on.
We got to
judge people for.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Save this. Remember.
All right, we'll keep this in the holster.
Right here.
Like a 20-hour tease coming up in foreplay.
No, we can. It gives us time to think about it as well.
I don't need any time.
You'll probably have like 4 instances today in which you judge.
Yes, you're exactly right.
That you probably shouldn't.
No, there's no Little League game today. So, but that's a little hint for you. It's one of them.
Okay, that's the plan. Yeah.
All right.
That's it for Monday. Ben and Woods, Braden and Frank. I see them out on the couches waiting to take their places here in the studio. Coming up next for 4 hours, Padres baseball at 4:15 this afternoon in Atlanta. 3:15 EcoWater SoCal pregame show. For executive producer Paul Reindl and Stephen Woods, I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Monday from all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.